It's Friday night and time for Indiana High School football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game is driven by Greg Hubler Ford, located at the corner of McGalliard and Nebo Road in Muncie, or visit them at greghublerauto.com. And brought to you in part by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. By Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. Now, let's go to the field for tonight's game of the week on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
And welcome to High School Sports Net, where the Lapel are the Frankton Eagles. Andrew Mild here, and Sam Niger will be joining us later. On Friday Night Lights Week 2. Friday night, it was 80 degrees, a good wind going. Doesn't really feel like football. And it's going to be some chilly nights, and the fans will have to break out some of the hoodies. But for and on the spectrum last week, as Frankton won 14-13 against, and then for Lapel out to second defense was torn apart. Had 171 passing yards and 28.5 yards per completion. Some really champion really just carried his team past Lapel, the quarterback Alexander, with interceptions in the game, and we're looking to bounce back tonight against Frankton. And for Frankton, it was a battle. And luckily for them, they had 2 interceptions from their safety. And one of them was a pick six, and really the game sealer as they were able to hold on to a 1-point victory and start the season 1-0. We're going to take a break, and we're going to send it over to ads. And don't go anywhere because the game is going to be starting in about 24 minutes.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. and a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Welcome back here. Dan Niger, we're going to bring him in. And Sam Lapel, what can we expect?
Well, 13th ranked team in Indiana AA football this season, and they have some high expectations this year. I know it's still very fresh in the season, and in the grand scheme of things, you can view the regular season as more of a tune-up for the playoffs, and Frankton does have their sights set on the postseason. As for Lapel, certainly just wanting to bounce back from last week. It was a tough way to start the season, but they have a chance here on the road tonight against a higher-ranked team to pull the underdog card, and I think they're going to be carried by star fullback Tyler Dollar. He had 23 carries last week for 152 yards and the lone touchdown for the Bulldogs. I think he will have a big impact tonight. They're going to need him to have a big impact if they want to stay in this game.
He also had an 83-yard. So that's always impressive. That's a good way to start the season, especially considering that he finished last season with an injury against the same Frankton team. He still ran for 100 yards and went down, and then Lapel the year because they didn't have their star running back and ended up dropping them and in a really rough note. So it's really good news that Dollar for the Bulldogs. But for Frankton, pretty good last week against Tipton. Even ball 3 times, they still pulled out a victory. So you really have to thank the defense who lost next week.
Oh, after a bad night throwing the football, the defense came in so strong for Frankton. I mean, if you don't win a game and allow the other team to score 13 points, there's nothing wrong. Their duty. The pick six, but he had another one as well. That secondary looked really strong last week, and although Frankton might not have unbelievable size like we're sometimes accustomed to here in East Central Indiana, they gave a really good performance last week.
Their top and you and I, and we didn't really know how to describe it. A different way of looking at an old T formation, which was really popular when and go
I love this throwback style offense.
Yeah.
You're going to hear terms thrown out like split ends, like wing backs. It's an old brand of football, but it works, and it works for the Eagles, and they're going to put on a show tonight with some really fun football to watch.
Yeah, these positions, because there's, I think, and you're right, I can watching this all day. Let's look over at who's right sidelines now, and last year they only lost 3 games. They lost 34-7.
I mentioned it just a moment ago, but Ty Dollar carried this offense for the entire game last week, and although it was just 1 touchdown, he was their sole bright spot. Alexander's going to need to clean things up for sure. I know you mentioned it, a QBR of 4.7, 3 interceptions. That's an unacceptable day. And if you're going to throw the ball 20 times, you can't have 3 of those dropbacks result in a turnover. Only 31 yards for Alexander last week, so I think a big game for him on the road to bounce back. And you mentioned it, Dollar got injured against this Frankton team last year, so maybe a little bit of a vendetta game for him too, which is going to be fun to watch, especially for a star like Dollar.
And the thing too is that the Lapel defense wasn't too strong last week. The 34 points, of course, hurts, but also Hamilton Heights only threw the ball 10 times. They had 6 completions for 171 yards. So that means that half of their completions last week, and really talented player on the field is Tyler Champion, scored 307. He was 3 yards. In their mouth, and the defense.
Oh, absolutely. But if you're Frankton, you definitely view this as a positive. I mean, their offense thrives on misdirection, so if the weak spot for the Frankton going to want to take advantage of that. They don't throw the ball as much as Hamilton Heights would last week or as effectively. Drop back. He went 5 for 11 last week with 96 yards and a touchdown. Also rushed for 13 yards. A solid QBR of 106.6. But we'll see if they don't attack through the air a little bit more today, especially with how tattered that Lapel Bulldogs secondary was last week. But I'm excited to watch. I'm just ready to get started here.
These two teams are walking, and for they have not defeated Lapel since 2012. We're going to take a quick break. Come right.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Gray Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
And we are going to start game. We'll start the junior Luke Alexander, looking for a bounce back week. Right behind him, the senior in their loss. Simon at Braden field, going from left tackle to right tackle. Right and close, and for defense, the defensive and Chandler Lowe. Good 10 tackles. One sack. Drew the quarterback Priest and Landon the quarterback is senior Gabe Lazada, who is trying the weak back and crew foul Brady Carmack and Austin and for Austin, Warren, Hunter Branham, Garrick Ellis, Ty Everson, and Jarrett Cole. And here is their defense. The defensive ends are Landon Johnson and Hunter Branham. And Branham had a good week last week as he had 2 sacks. The defensive tackles are Ty Everson and Nate Warren is the nose tackle. Inside linebackers, Braden Peters and Crew Farrell. Crew Farrell led the team with 9 tackles last week. The safeties, Gage Rastetter, Austin Nunley, and Carson Moore. And the quarterbacks are Braden Douglas and Isaiah Malone. And as they continue to announce the names, the players are just heading back to the locker rooms. The referees are here on the field. People are starting to pile in. You can clearly tell that it is Lapel fans on the other side. You see the black and the white. And then right in front of us is the Frankton side, a lot of red and gray. And the cool part is the brand new field, the second year of this field, and the band is right behind the goalpost down to the end zone to our left, and the student section is right next to them. So it's going to be a rowdy crowd on that end. Let's see if Frankton can score a touchdown on that side of the field. We're going to send it to a break, and when we come back, Frankton and Lapel football will be on the air.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
It's Friday night and time for Indiana High School football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game is driven by Greg Hubler Ford, located at the corner of McGalliard and Nebo Road in Muncie, or visit them at GregHublerAuto.com. And brought to you in part by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at UniversalRFG.com. By Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. And by High Gear Marketing at HighGearMKTG.com. Now, let's go to the field for tonight's game of the week on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
And finally, our Frankton.
We promise football will be on the air momentarily. We still got about 7 minutes and 45 seconds till the kickoff, but the national anthem will be playing shortly. And when the national anthem concludes, then we'll come back and it will be finally time for some football. But we're going to give it to Sam real quick. And Sam, who are your players to watch going into this game?
Well, Andrew, I'm trying to look at both of these lineups here. I'm going to pick one guy from each side. I think the guy to watch for Frankton tonight is Gage Ratzler. He had a pretty good outing last time. He threw the ball well. He ran the ball okay, had a great QBR, but we noted on this earlier that the way to beat this Lapel Bulldogs team handedly is to throw the football. So I think if Ratzler has a good night through the air, Frankton's going to take care of business. We know they can run the football. We know they love the misdirection, but if Ratzler can get rolling tonight, I think it's all Eagles. As for Lapel, if there's going to be one guy to carry him, it's going to have to be Tyler Dollar. They gave him the ball 25 times last week. He had 152 yards and 1 touchdown. That's a great night for a running back in high school football, but they're going to need more out of him tonight if they want to pull off the underdog. If they want to pull off the underdog win, I'd say probably at least 1 or 2 more touchdowns. They've just got to get the ball in his hand. Let him do what he does. He is a star. He started on offense and defense since he was a sophomore. This is his senior year. We mentioned this earlier, possibly a revenge game against Frankton. He got injured against the Eagles last year, so he is certainly my guy to watch for the Lapel Bulldogs.
2 really good players getting ready to do battle today, and you are right. If Lapel does want to pick up a win and not start the season 0-2, which in high school football you're not going to get too many opportunities to bounce back from an 0-2 start to the season. So for me, I have to agree with you. It's really going to come down to if the defense can get stops at crucial times. And if they allow Frankton to throw the ball like Hampton Heights did to them last week, that's going to open up their run game. And this team loves to run the football, especially their formation is built for that. They ran the ball 40 times. That's not an exaggeration. That's the exact number, 40 times compared to the 11 pass attempts. And you talk about their coach, Mark Lazada, who's in his 2nd season on the team. When he got hired 2 years ago, he said, I'm an old-fashioned coach. I want my defense to swarm the field, play physical, and I want to run the ball every time. And that's what he's done last year. That's what he has already started to do this year. And Lapel has had success. They've won 40 and 15 in the last 5 years. So they do have to have a good showing from their defense tonight if they do want to win and get back to 500 and then start going into next week 3 with some momentum. And this is going to be our final break. We're going to break for the national anthem, and then we'll come back, and Frankton and Lapel should have their coin flip, and we'll see who's going to have the ball, and he'll start on defense. You're watching Indiana High School Sports.net.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
It's Friday night and time for Indiana High School football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game is driven by Greg Hubler Ford, located at the corner of McGalliard and Nebo Road in Muncie, or visit them at GregHublerAuto.com. And brought to you in part by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at UniversalRFG.com. By Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. And by High Gear Marketing at HighGearMKTG.com. Now, let's go to the field for tonight's game of the week on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
And the Frankton Eagles have taken the field to a thunderous applause from their fans, and now streaking across the field are the Lapel Bulldogs. And Sam, you and I talked about it off air going into this game. There is nothing better than Friday Night Lights. This electric atmosphere from Frankton High School this evening.
Oh, absolutely. Both sides showing out in terms of fans. They've got the golf carts parked in the end zone.
That's incredible.
It is. I've never seen anything like that before. The student sections are out in full force. I can see the Lapels fans on the far sideline already in those neon. It must be neon night. We're just excited up here in the booth, and I can't wait for football to get rolling.
Yeah, you mentioned the golf carts. In all my years of broadcasting and watching high school football, I have never seen golf carts like that. It's almost as though they're watching someone tee off instead of watching football. Some fans even brought some lawn chairs and they're watching the game from there. Fireworks have been getting set off. People are barbecuing past the end zone off to our right, and there's a bus out there. The stands are jam-packed on both sides, too. Sometimes you don't get a whole lot of visiting fans, but Lapel has really showed out, too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this team's got a historic past couple of years, so these fans are loyal. They didn't have the greatest start last week, but of course trying to bounce back. And I can't wait for the sun to set, for those stadium lights to kick on, and it'll be Friday Night Lights in all its glory.
Well, we mentioned it coming into the game. The Frankton Eagles have had their troubles against the Lapel Bulldogs, where they have not defeated them since 2012 in a 19-10 game. And coincidentally, head coach Tim Miller, that was his first year as the head coach, and he has not lost to them since. That is the last 13 matchups he has won. 4 of them have been playoff victories, especially last year. In the last 2 years, Frankton's season ended at the hands of Lapel.
Yeah, well, if Frankton is going to get the win, this would be the year to do it. You know, they've got the offensive weapons. Lapel struggled last week. They looked really vulnerable, especially in that secondary, especially on defense. Frankton's certainly going to have a game plan together. They thrive off the misdirection, as we mentioned earlier, but they're going to have to attack through the ground and the air, keep the defense sharp, which I think we expect that they will. And I'm just excited for a good game.
Well, Lapel won the toss and deferred, so that means the Frankton Eagles offense will be the first one to start the game. And Sam, you and I talked about it. It's going to come down to Lapel's defense, and they're going to start the game on the field.
Absolutely. I wasn't expecting Lapel to defer. I thought they would put the ball in the hands of their star running back, Ty Dollar. But, hey, credit to the Bulldogs for trusting their defense. I'm sure they're fired up after the blowout loss last week. Maybe they'll come out with a lot of energy here on the road, but they've got a tough test on the other side of the ball with Rastetter and Lazader carrying the football.
As we mentioned, Lapel's defense was torched last week by Hamilton Heights, allowing the 34 points, but had allowed 171 yards on just 6 completions from Hamilton Heights quarterback Bodie Durer. And there we go. Football is almost on its way as Lapel and Frankton have taken the field finally. Lapel will kick off the ball, and Frankton will receive. Back to receive for Frankton is Brady Carmack. And kicking off, and then also Braden Douglas. Kicking off is Bracken Little for Lapel. And here we go. The ball is teed up, ready to go. They're kicking from their own 40-yard line. The referees have their hands up. There's the whistle, and here we go. Here comes a kickoff from Little. It's a short one, caught by Douglas. Douglas trying to find a hole and gets tackled by a swarm of Lapel players. They're going to be marked down at the 29-yard line. Looks like maybe Bruin White, who had 10 tackles last week, was in on the play there. And Frankton, again, will start on their own 29-yard line. We'll see how that team formation will go against this Lapel defense. From what I saw on the tapes from last week's game, they're going to go a lot of underneath the center. There's the whistle, and here we go. Rastetter underneath center. And he hands it off early. A broken tackle initially, and the running back goes down at the 32-yard line. The game about 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7 after the carry from Crew Farrell. Maybe the only time you've ever seen the balls get handed straight off from the Frankton offense after watching last week's tape.
Absolutely. That was not exactly what I expected on the first carry of the game. They like to run the ball towards the tackles, towards the edge of the offensive line, but we'll see if that doesn't continue with that up-the-gut rush here.
Luke Sondheimer was the one on the tackle. Lapel in a 4-3 base defense. There's the snap. And another handoff to Farrell. Farrell's bouncing off to the sidelines. He got himself a first down. He's been a hard man to tackle through the first 2 plays. And he's broken a couple of tackles and got a good chunk right there as he was finally brought down at about, we'll call that the 41-yard line. A gain of 9 on the play.
Farrell was tied with Lazader for most carries last week for Frankton with 14. He was the team's leading rusher with 68 yards. They're going to look towards him a lot tonight, giving him the football. 5'10", 165, athletic kid, big kid.
But right now, the battle of the trenches being won by Frankton. Running back straight behind him, a split back, and another handoff to Farrell. And Farrell did not get too many yards there, getting about 2.
Lapel better be careful here not to get worn down early by Frankton. If they're going to run the ball straight at them like this, they're going to need to make more plays like that.
The tackle goes to Ryan Carpenter, who really slammed them down. And Carpenter trying to slow up the Frankton offense, who just ran the ball 3 times, and they're already up to their 44, so 15 yards already from Farrell, who's averaging 5 yards a carry through his first 3 handoffs. And hand it off to him again, and he gets brought down in the backfield. Wow! Not sure how that wasn't a horse collar, but an impressive play by Matt Carpenter coming off the edge, and there was a tackle for a loss. And Frankton's about where they started on About 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah, that was a violent tackle that time on Farrell. Hope he's okay. He was really thrown down there. That was tough to watch. Can't believe the refs kept those flags in their pocket that time.
Yeah, Carpenter is a big kid. He's 6'5", 195. But now they're going to bounce him back and start using him as a linebacker. So now it's a 3-4 defense. But Carpenter looks like he might blitz here. And here he comes. It's a fake. Coming around the side is Rostetter. He's going for a run. He lowers his head and knocks down one Lapel defender. But he's short of the first down. It's 4th and 1. Do you gamble and go for it here?
I mean, you're at home. It's early. We talked about it. Friday Night Lights, great atmosphere. Why not? This Lapel defense has proved themselves vulnerable through 1 week. Why not go for it? But it looks like they're bringing on the punting unit here early.
Yeah, it's the punting unit. Kicking for Frankton is Braden Douglas. With the quarterback still on the field in Rastetter. And Douglas gets the ball and he boots it away. It's a high one. And a fair catch was signaled, but he did not catch the ball, and eventually it's stopped at the 32-yard line, and that's where Lapel will start with their offense. And before we start on offense for Lapel, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment?
Lapel is on the field. They're going out of their basic pistol formation with Ty Yeller right behind the quarterback, Luke Alexander. Hand off to Dollar. Dollar going to the outside. He's got a head of steam. He stiffs on the defender, and he gets thrown out of bounds. And a good chunk on the play. And I think Dollar was asking for a face mask there.
Yeah, but right away we see how the Bulldogs are going to be using Dollar. They're going to go to him a lot tonight, and we saw there he's a built kid. Very hard to bring him down. Frankton was lucky to get him to the sidelines on that first down play.
He was pushed out of bounds by Isaiah Malone, and there is a face mask. Might have been a far flag. We didn't see it. There's a lot of bodies in that general area. So there's the good run about 6 or 7 yards, and then you add on another 15, and all of a sudden Lapel is at midfield. They're on their own 48-yard line.
Penalties can win and lose football games sometimes, so Frankton's certainly going to want to shore that up here. Still very early in the game.
Split formation. You have 3 wide receivers stacked up to the right. Dollar is not in the game. They took him out. And there's a handoff. It was Dollar, and he gets brought down at about the 50-yard line. Again, 2.
Dollar 5'10", 185. He had 25 carries last week. We mentioned 152 yards, and the only touchdown for Lapel. So they are going to go to him a lot tonight. We've already seen it here through just a couple plays.
He's already 3,000 yards in his career. He's started at running back since his sophomore year at Lapel. He's been one of the better players. A fake. Alexander rolling out to his right. He's looking downfield. He gets rid of it. It's a risky throw, and it's off the hands of his wide receiver, who could have easily dragged the foot and got a first down. That was Riley Hudson. It just looked as though Hudson closed his hands too early, and that's going to cause a 3rd and medium. It's 3rd and 8.
With as risky of a throw as that was, he had Hudson
Oh, yeah?
pretty good spot. I mean, it hit Hudson right in the hands. It wasn't actually a bad throw that time for Alexander, who struggled last week throwing the football.
Yeah, Hudson had 4 receptions for 14 yards last week. He was a leading receiver. There wasn't too many other receivers that really competed with him last week, but it looks like it could be a passing down. It's a screen, and number 20 gets brought down. That was Nick Witz, and he's down at the Frankton 45.
Alexander pass complete to number
45 and a half, closer to the 44.
Run down by number 11,
And 4th and just a couple yards. And Lapel looks like they're going to go for it. They're getting a call from the sidelines. Usually when teams are in a pistol formation like this, they don't really go into a huddle too often. Lapel has not gone into a huddle, but they have the 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Dollar gets the sweep. He's trying to bounce it back in, and he falls for a first down. A good second effort by Tyler Dollar as he got past a Frankton defender, and he fell forward, and he gets the first down, and then some. Another 3 more yards than what he needed.
One of the great characteristics characteristics of a good runner is that they never keep their feet moving. They are always trying to fall forward. That time Dollar got caught up moving horizontally, but he fixed it up and picked up the first down.
They're in plus territory as Dollar gets the ball again. He has to plant his foot and cut back to his left. He's down the sidelines. Is he gone? He is not. He goes out of bounds, but it's another first down for Lapel on another really good run by Tyler Dollar. And you said it, really good running backs keep their feet moving. And for Dollar, he recognized that the hole was closed up. He planted it and countered it the other way. So really good awareness by the running back.
Some great shiftiness that time from Dollar.
He's also very explosive. He's got every good characteristic you can think of for a running back, and that's why he could win player of the game the way he's been carrying the ball. A fake Alexander's going to keep it. He goes to his left. He breaks a couple tackles. He gets wrapped around the waist, and he falls down, and they're going to have a first and goal at around the 7-yard line of Frankton.
Lapel surprising us with that play call a little bit. Alexander had 2 carries for no yards last week, but that time it was the quarterback's choice, and he picked up the first down. Like that play call.
They go back into the pistol. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's a straight handoff to Dollar. Dollar trying to find something. A bunch of bodies in an area. And a gain of about 4 yards. They're going to stop him at the 3-yard line. And Lapel is 3 yards away from scoring the first touchdown of the game with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
That would be absolutely huge for the Bulldogs. Only 1 touchdown last week. If they were able to put one on the board here in the first quarter, that would be a huge momentum shift in favor of Lapel.
They also just have to be very happy that they've had a long drive. Didn't have too many of them last week. 2 receivers to the right, and a handoff to Dollar. Dollar gets hit initially, breaks a tackle, keeps the feet moving, but he's tackled around the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a couple of inches there. It's 3rd down. Another good stop by Frankton with their backs to the wall, but 1 stop away from making it 4th and goal, and then putting a lot of pressure on Lapel on the side to either go for it or kick the field goal. Now they're going to move Dollar by the quarterback. He's going to be on the left hip of Alexander. Now going back to the right hip. That's where he started, and he's gone back and forth. Alexander has it. He fakes it, goes up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. Another fake handoff to Dollar. They use him as a decoy. Alexander takes it himself for a 3-yard scamper and a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
Another great play call to Alexander running the football. They had gone to Dollar in the red zone the previous 2 plays, which I didn't mind. Go to your star when you're in the red zone. But a great play design that time, dragging the defense away from Alexander, and he knew it at the 2-yard line. He already threw his hands in the air to score the first touchdown of this game.
There was no Frankton Eagles in the area as he went in untouched. Once they saw that Dollar was in the fake handoff, he took it himself. There's the kick, and it is through, and it is 7-0 in favor of Lapel. As both teams get ready for the kickoff, we're going to take a break. It's 7-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
A nice long drive for the Lapel Bulldogs results in a touchdown. Andrew Mild and Sam Niger from Frankton, Indiana, in Week 2 of Friday Night Lights in the Hoosier State. A short kick this time, and the returner gets brought down at the 36-yard line. Not a very long kick, and it was caught by number 25, Nate Lazzato. And for Frankton, they didn't have a bad drive last time. They were able to get a first down, but really hurt them. It was a really big tackle by Carpenter. We basically just slammed down Lazatter in the backfield. Crew Farrell in a stance behind. That's actually Lazatter. It's get the ball on a pitch, and he gets brought down at the 40-yard line. Gain of about 5, and it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Eagles.
We're going to see a tandem of backs tonight between Farrell and Lazatter. We saw Farrell on that first drive, got the majority of the carries for the Eagles, and now Lazatter brought into the game, and he's going to show off his stuff. He's 5'6", 165 pounds, so a little shorter, but he's still got the muscle to run the football.
Yeah, Lazatter again behind the quarterback, Rastetter, and a 3-point stance. They fake it to him, and they go to an end around. He got a really good block from one of his receivers, and it's a really good run by Crew Farrell. What a block on the edge as one of the Lapel Bulldogs was absolutely pancaked. That appeared to be Hunter Branham, the left guard, who got a huge push, and he just pointed for the first down, and man, that was a really good block. You always got to appreciate some really good blocking.
Well, absolutely, and we got to see that end-around misdirection offense that we were trying to hype up before the game, and now we finally see it on the second drive for the Eagles.
It was only a matter of time before you would see that. This time they're going to hand it off to Douglas on the end around, and he's still got a good chunk of change. We can start a drive on a 3-yard carry. That's a good start. 2nd and 7.
Douglas only had 3 carries for 9 yards last week, but they will mix him into that rotation, especially with all this misdirection that we see. It could be any one of Douglas, Lazater, or Farrell carrying the football for the Eagles.
Still in center is Rastetter. Coming in is Ethan Stansberry, and it's a straight handoff that time to Lazatter, and Lazatter was tackled by Carpenter. Carpenter has been a menace. That's his second tackle for a loss in this game.
Carpenter's a guy that only had 1 tackle last week, but he's already making his presence felt up front at the defensive tackle position. Love what we're seeing from him here early.
Going back to that play, the end around the Farrell, that was a 16-yard gain on that play. They fake it, and they hand it off to Douglas, and Douglas is going to be met by a bunch of white jerseys and was able to tiptoe his way around danger and gain about maybe a yard there to the 41-yard line, and it's going to make it 4th down, another 3rd down stop by the Lapel defense, and it all started on a big tackle by Carpenter that really slowed down the momentum for the Eagles, and that was going to force their second punt.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great defensive stop that time by Lapel. They read the misdirection well that time from the Eagles, and if Lapel wants to stay in this game, they're going to need to continue to do that on defense.
I'm just surprised that Frankton has elected to pass the ball yet. There's the punt from Douglas. It's a wobbly one, and it takes a hop backwards and deflected off of Isaiah Priest, and they're downing the ball at the 14-yard line. No, 13-yard line. So Douglas pins Lapel behind their own 20-yard line, even inside their own 15-yard line. So that's still a pretty good punt after Lapel had a long drive last time. There's 3 minutes exactly to go in the first quarter, and let's see if Lapel can keep the momentum from their previous drive where they ran the ball successfully between Tyler Dollar and their quarterback, Luke Alexander. Alexander handed it off to Dollar. Dollar makes a couple of cuts, and he's getting brought down just short of the first down marker at the 21-yard line. Tackled by Hunter Branham.
Once again, we see the shiftiness of Dollar. I mean, that was a run right up the middle. That's a tough read to make if you're a running back, but he was still able to shift away from 2 or 3 defenders before being brought down. That's one of the characteristics, I should say, of a great running back.
2nd and 1. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Dollar behind Alexander. Alexander's going to hand it off to again, and somehow Dollar was able to break an arm tackle, and there is a flag on the play, and you have to wonder if that's going to be holding on Lapel.
This could be a tough break this time for Lapel. They've been running the ball so well. They have the momentum right now on the road, a game that we weren't necessarily sure that they were going to be ahead of at any point. So penalties are definitely going to hurt them here early.
It is holding on Lapel. So now they're behind double sticks, as it's going to make it 2nd and 11 after a good 9-yard run started the drive from Dollar. And because of the holding, they now have to regain the ground that they gained and then a couple more yards. So now 2nd and 11, backing up to their own 13-yard line. Clock is still running. That was a running play. Here comes the blitz from the outside. Alexander gets rid of it. The long throw, and it's off the mark, as it was intended for number 22, Riley Hudson.
That
was a good read that time by Alexander. Not necessarily the best throw, but he recognized the blitz coming from his right side, and he was able to dish the ball away. Even though it wasn't a completion, that's better than taking a big sack deep in your territory.
You saw Braden Peters come off the edge, too, on a very aggressive blitz attempt that forced Alexander to get rid of the ball as quickly as he could. And because of that, he threw the ball about 3 or 4 yards up the field away from Hudson. So you now have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and a pass down, and Alexander stops, he throws, and there's nobody there. Wow. And we talked about it, the passing game was just not there for Lapel, and on this drive they threw the ball twice, and both times it was a bad throw and then a miscommunication with his receiver. It looked like it was intended for number 20 of Lapel, who turned around and looked at his quarterback and was shocked that the ball was thrown 4 yards behind him.
Yeah, you know that's got to hurt if you're Alexander. Miscommunication, we're not exactly sure whose fault that is, but he's certainly going to be kicking himself after making that throw. It might not have been his bad on the penalty, but certainly on those final 2 plays of that drive.
There's the punt. This should give really good starting position for Frankton. Douglas calls for a fair catch. He backs up, and they're going to mark him at the 48-yard line, and we will take a break. 7-0 Lapel.
Is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
We are back as Frankton is in their T formation, dropping back the pass is Lazada. He throws it way downfield, and it's finally caught by Brady Cormack. He flexes his muscles as he out-battled his corner to make the catch. He battled with Landon White, the corner there, and eventually just ripped it away, and it's a long completion to start the drive, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, the Eagles are in the red zone.
Carmack doesn't necessarily have a lot of catches per game, but he makes them count on the big plays. 2 receptions for 55 yards last game and a touchdown, and he makes his presence felt here early.
Here's the blitz. It's a pitch outside to Lazada. Lazada is brought down. But for Rastetter, you got to be pretty excited that your wide receiver is able to haul that pass in, as there was a corner in the vicinity, but using the body of Carmack, who's 6 foot 164, and his strength, he just ripped it away, and a good chunk of change to start the drive, gaining around 20 to 30 yards. And it's now 2nd and 10 from the Lapel 17. This is the first time that Frankton has been inside Lapel's side of the field. As you can see, the band and their suit section just beyond the end zone. Getting rid of it to his right, and it's wide of his intended receiver, Douglas, as Lazada knew that the pressure was coming, and he got rid of it, and because of that, he was about 2 yards off the mark.
And we haven't seen a whole lot of throwing tonight so far from Frankton, so the fact that they're coming out on this drive, letting it fly, letting Rastetter do what he does, I appreciate it, and Rastetter's got to appreciate it too. Get your quarterback rolling, get him hot here early. You're down 7, why not take a chance here late in the first quarter?
The first 2 drives, pass attempts, 0. This drive, on 3 plays, 2 pass attempts. And you're right, so they're trying to make this a more balanced offense. Looks as though that Carpenter is going to try and blitz. And there's movement. There is movement on Lapel, but yet neutral zone infraction. They're going to move that ball 5 yards. They're going to cut the to-go in half from 3rd and 10 to 3rd and 5. It was also a really good call to go to a hard count and at least make it 3rd and manageable instead of 3rd and long.
And that's the second time now we've seen penalties hurt Lapel. It hurt them on offense last time when they were getting close to the first down. They backed up 10 yards, and now it makes it 3rd and manageable for Frankton.
They had 7 penalties last week against Hamilton Heights. It's almost about. There's a bad snap over the head of Lazzater. Lazzater has to scramble to his left. He has the ball. He throws it to the back of the end zone. And physical flag. That's a pass interference. It was intended for a callback in the left corner of the end zone. Somehow Lazzater got a really good hop from the ball. He picked it up, rolled out to his left, and Rastetter got rid of it and got the pass interference call.
Call is pass interference on the Bulldog.
That marked the ball. I know the high school rules is a little bit different than college, but Ethan Stansberry is the one that gets the call on him as he just couldn't stop himself and ran it to the receiver.
First and goal.
They placed it at the 5-yard line. First and goal for Frankton. Can they match the touchdown that Lapel scored to start their day off on offense? Here comes a blitz, pitch to the outside. He is hit hard. He gets upended. And frustrated there was Nate Lazzater as he was upended and hit the ground hard. But it was a 4-yard gain, so a hard fought 4 yards. 2nd and 2 yards to go from a touchdown.
Frankton playing to their strengths here in the red zone, trying to punch home their first touchdown of the game.
Lazzater is behind the quarterback. He gets the ball. He's trying to get his way in. Did he score? And they're marking him inches away from the goal line. Somehow, some way, the Lapel Bulldogs were able to stop Lazzater one more time. It was a group of Bulldogs in the vicinity, and that ball is inside the 1, and that will end the first quarter. And with that, we will take a break, and we'll move the ball to the other side of the field, where the Frankton Eagles are trailing the Lapel Bulldogs 7-0.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have 0 to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
They're offering a hair tinsel booth.
A huge play to Brady Carmack, got the drive going, and then a pass interference for a pass for Douglas was made at 1st and 6, and now Frankton is knocking on the door of scoring their first touchdown of the game. They only scored 1 offensive touchdown last week, and thanks for a pick 6, they were able to win the game by 1 point. The snap, keeping it, is Rastetter, and Rastetter is met by a herd of Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs player comes up with the ball, but they're going to mark it as a forward progress and blow the ball dead. that was interesting. As Bruin White, who had made 10 tackles last week, was the one that all of a sudden had the pigskin and was running down the field, but the whistle was blowing it dead. And if they gained anything, they gained maybe a centimeter on that play.
I just can't believe the officials blew the ball dead so early. I mean, White literally ripped it out of the hands of Rastetter and started running downfield. If the officials would have let that keep going, that would have been a defensive touchdown.
Oh, easily. There was no one else in the area. With it being a QB sneak, everyone is trying to bottleneck the trenches.
Yeah.
Going back there is Rastetter. Rastetter's got a block in front of him. He's trying to make his way through it. He misses a couple of blocks. He dives. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles! Rastetter, every time he tried to cut back in, there was a bulldog there. He finally ran out of real estate and went for the pylon and stuck that football right in as a firework goes off past the end zone. And Rastetter, he earned those 6 points.
Absolutely pushed to the very edge, and he just made the decision in the final seconds to leap in the air, trying to get that final push, outstretched his hands. That was a great play by the quarterback, Rastetter, who doesn't always carry the ball a lot, but he has made it count tonight when he keeps the ball.
They were using Crew Farrell as a blocker, but I don't know how many white jerseys were there, and there's the field goal, and it is good. So the PAT is through, and we're tied at 7-7. What a drive by Frankton. This is Friday Night Lights at its best. We're going to take a break. You don't go anywhere. We have a tied game from Frankton High School.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
The Frankton Eagles are on the board with their own touchdown. They're knotted up at 7 apiece, with Frankton lining up the kick. And there's the whistle. And here we go. Here's the boot. And catching it is Riley Hudson. Hudson just by his own end zone, call out the 1. He's trying to find a hole. He cuts it upfield. He breaks a tackle. He breaks another tackle. He falls forward all the way down to the 37-yard line. So that's about a 36-yard return. He started at the 1-yard line, and if the ball even breaks the goal line, then it's automatic stoppage, and then it's a touchback from the 25-yard line. But you start at the 37 on a really good return. That's a really good blocking from Lapel's return team, really creating some holes for Hudson. But after watching their defense allow a touchdown, the Lapel Bulldogs are looking to respond as their drive was really stopped because of a holding penalty that pushed them back 10 yards. Head off to Ty Dollar. Ty Dollar with some shifty moves, a nice juke, and he works his way up to the 49-yard line. A gain of 12 yards, and that's a really good way to start the drive. Head it off to your star player and get a first down.
Absolutely. Love going to Dollar immediately. That's how they're going to get it done. That's how they're going to score more touchdowns. They had a little bit of a fluky one with Alexander, but Dollar is the guy who's going to get a majority of the carries.
There's the snap, another handoff to Dollar. Dollar was patient with it, and he's met by a few Frankton Eagles. A nice tackle by the inside linebacker, Braden Peters, to bring him down, and 1 yard was gained on that handoff to Dollar. That's what the Eagles are looking for, is a slow down Dollar.
The Eagles don't have a huge defensive front. I mean, their tallest guy is listed at 6'2", 250, but the linebackers came up front there to make a huge stop, and that was a big hit on a big kid Dollar.
Now you have to wonder if maybe Lapel may go to a play action here and see if they get those linebackers to come up and then dump it over. There's a fake. Rolling now is Alexander. Alexander throws it. The ball's deflected up in the air. And it's intercepted by the Eagles! Right there to clean up the mess was Austin Nutley. His third interception in 2 weeks. But for Alexander, that's his fourth interception in the last 2 games. As he threw it up high, a bunch of red jerseys were there. They hit it up into the air. It's something they were practicing before the game. And I'm not sure what Nutley has, but he's just been a ball magnet the last couple of weeks.
We are watching a star unfold in front of us at strong safety in Austin Nutley. You mentioned it. 3 interceptions now in 2 weeks, including a pick 6, and that's why you practice the tip drill on defense.
Exactly.
It's paid off.
Every drill has their purpose, and for the Frankton Eagles, it's worked. Some talking between Farrell and Rastetter there, as the Eagles get the ball right back after their touchdown. Dropping back to pass is Rastetter, and Rastetter throw is off the mark as it deflected off one of the Lapel defenders. The cornerback was trying to close in and make the play. That was Drew Bracken, the linebacker, and it's 2nd and 10. As that's what the Frankton Eagles did more in the last drive, which led to them being able to score those 7 points. A long completion to Brady Carmack, and then the pass interference on Braden Douglas in the back of the end zone, put him at 1st and 6. Handoff straight to Farrell. Farrell is brought down by Drew Bracken and Matt Carpenter, as Matt Carpenter has just been everywhere. And he's a very easy player to see, because he's easily the tallest player on the field. He is 6'5".
Yeah, that's a big boy up front in Matt Carpenter, 195 pounds too, and just a junior, making his presence felt, especially on the defensive side of the ball here.
Well, that's a nice thing about being 6'5". You look over the offensive lineman and over the ball, it usually is. As Farrell is behind Rastetter in the backfield, 3rd and 6 from their own 44-yard line. Here comes the blitz. They hand it off to Farrell, and Farrell is going to be stopped before he can get ahead of steam going, as Bruin White, the leading tackler from last week, was there, and he got the stop as 4th down, a 3 and out for Frankton. And for me, Sam, I think that's the first 3 and out that we've seen in this ballgame.
I think you're absolutely right, and give credit to the Lapel defense that time. They forced the incompletion against Frankton on 1st down, and then it was just an uphill battle from there. The Bulldogs met the task.
And this punt should give Lapel good field position, as there's the punt. It's a high one, and it's going to go over the head of Hudson. The ball is rolling towards the goal line, and scratch that. Frankton Eagles are going to pin Lapel again.
A fantastic punt that time from Douglas.
They pinned him down to the 9-yard line, inside the 10. Just a couple of drives ago, Lapel had to start on their own 13-yard line. So the punter for Frankton has really made it tough for Lapel the last couple of punts. Lapel threw an interception in their last drive, as Luke Alexander has not been off to a good start this season. Hit a QBR of 4.2 a week ago because of his 3 interceptions. And today he's already thrown 1. Not completed a pass yet. It's a counter play to Dollar. Dollar's trying to upfield, and Dollar is going to be gone. He's to the 40, 30, and nothing but green grass ahead of him, and the red end zone. Ty Dollar's into the end zone for a touchdown, 91 yards. Ty Dollar is money there, and a quick strike, and the Lapel Bulldogs have a touchdown.
My goodness, the explosiveness of Dollar straight out of the backfield that time. Lapel threw an interception, so they on the last drive out, so why not go to the ground? Why not go to your star? And he proves why he is the best offensive player on this Lapel offense.
Well, I'm willing to bet now that Ty Dollar is way over the 100-yard mark, but we'll see how close he can get to 200, as Ty Dollar had a good amount of 100-yard games last season. He had 6 100-yard rushing games last year and a couple of 200-yarders. There's the extra point, and it will split the uprights. 14-7 Lapel after Ty Dollar breaks through and scores a 91-yard touchdown, his longest of the season. We'll take a break. 14-7 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Farmack and Douglas back to return as Little looks to boot the ball away after watching his running back Ty Dollar score a 91-yard touchdown. Lapel is back in the lead of 14-7. So they force the 3 and out, and they get the ball back and make use of it and get the touchdown. Douglas is the one that catches the ball, and he caught with some momentum. He's trying to get the sidelines, and he's brought down by Isaiah Priest on the Lapel side of the football field. And they're going to mark him at the 41-yard line. It's a good start, though, for the Frankton Eagles after allowing that long touchdown. But now you have to respond. You've already done it once before. Can you do it a second time? As the old mentality goes, Sam, bend, don't break.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about how Frankton had a gutsy win last week, but still they only had one offensive touchdown. The big one was the pick 6. So we'll see if they can't respond on the offensive side of the ball here with that T formation.
Lazatter is in the backfield as him and Farrell have been switching off between being running back and a split end. They're going to go to a pass. Rasser goes to the middle of the field and overthrows the intended receiver, Austin Nunley, which is surprising that somehow, someway, the football just didn't magically come into the hands of Nunley, as Nunley had 2 interceptions, last week, with one of them being a touchdown, and he had an interception today. So when you have 3 interceptions in 2 weeks, that's a good start to your season.
Absolutely. Still just a junior, 6'2", 180 pounds. Some room for improvement for sure, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but his defense looks so spectacular. He has a great read from the strong safety position.
Well, now you have the running back Farrell right behind, and then Lazatter off to the left, and there it is, another neutral zone infraction from Lapel. That's the second one on Chandler Lowe's and Matt Carpenter.
Absolutely, and this one's going to bite here about halfway through this second quarter. They just took over the momentum once more. A huge play by Ty Dollar on offense, and now it gives some room to breathe for Frankton on the offensive side of the ball.
Which has just been shocking, as Lapel has been playing really some undisciplined plays on defense. That's something that's very typical with this team, who has had a lot of success the last couple of years. Fake handoff to Farrell. They're going to go to the middle of the field. It's completed to Douglas. Douglas was wide open as it looked as though the Lapel Bulldogs had ran a zone there. No one picked up Douglas. He was wide open. A really good throw from Rasted right to the chest, and that's a first down for the Eagles as they are to the Lapel Bulldogs 33-yard line. They are really opening up the playbook tonight.
That was a really mature play from Rasted at that time. He was forced out of the pocket, but he went through all of his reads before he found the player wide open right in the middle. Give credit to Rastetter there. That was a lot of offensive athleticism and great quarterback play from him.
And patience. Now forcing everything. Going in motion is Farrell to the left. It's a pitch to Lazatter. And Lazatter broke a tackle. He breaks a couple more and finally tripped up to the Lapel 40. Gain of 3 yards there. 2nd and 7 after the long completion from Gage Rassetter to Braden Douglas, and really, it's been two really nice pass plays that's allowed the Frankton Eagles to gain some momentum. The one to Carmack, and then that one to Douglas. But now you're really making a more balanced offense. You're using your play actions, which is stopping the Lapel defense momentarily, allowing receivers to get open. A pass play, they're going deep down the sidelines, and it's off the mark, and there's a flag at the line of scrimmage. And now you have to wonder if maybe it has pass interference. That pass interference holding.
Yeah, I am okay with the no call in terms of the pass interference. It wasn't a great throw from Rassetter. It really wasn't in the area of the receiver. But now the offensive holding penalty is really going to bite Frankton in the butt here, as they're going to be pushed way back.
Yeah, for Frankton, they're trying to be more aggressive and go over the top of Isaiah Priest, who was on defense. Didn't say which receiver it was on that side, but it really didn't matter anyway. A loss of 10 due to a holding, and it's now second and about, I would say that's a long bed truck.
And if you're Frankton here, you know you've got to throw the football. You've done it with some success, but you can't have that balanced offense we've seen over the past couple drives. If they want to punch one into the end zone here, they are going to have to do it through the air.
There's the snap, another pass play, and he's hit from behind. The ball's on the ground, and recovered by Lapel. Wow, what a hit! He came out of nowhere. That was Luke Sundheimer. They came from the blind side and just blew up Rassetter, who stood no chance of getting that ball away or even knowing that hit was coming from. And for Lapel, it's recovered by Ryan Carpenter, and now the Lapel Bulldogs have the ball at the Frankton 41-yard line.
Sundheimer's not the biggest boy either, only 5'10", 170 pounds, but that was a lick that time on Rassetter to force the fumble.
That was a hard hit. And you have to think that Rassetter, he's seeing birds right now, hand off to Dollar, and Dollar is keeping the legs going, turn it to a rugby pile, and gain of 2, second and 8. And let's talk about the last drive for Frankton, as it really, you can sum it up, it was on one play, 91 yards. What did you see on that play from Ty Dollar as he scored that touchdown?
Well, we talked about this a little over the break for Lapel. Dollar ran the counter perfectly. He went completely untouched. He started to cut it back to the left and then immediately went right. The entire Frankton defense shifted over to the right, and Dollar was just gone from the get-go. The explosiveness is one thing that absolutely you have to point out on that play, because once he got past the line of scrimmage, there was nobody on the field that was going to match his speed, and he just pranced into the end zone for one of the best touchdowns we've seen so far this season.
And a timeout is called by Lapel. With that timeout, we'll take a break, and it's 14-7 in favor of the Bulldogs, and you're watching Indiana High School football on the Indiana High School Sports Network.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Back from the timeout with two receivers to the right, one to the left, and a straight handoff to Dollar. Dollar has a player on his waist and was able to drag him for a couple more yards until finally cleaned up by a couple more Eagles. tackle was by Crew Farrell, so one running back tackling another. Sometimes you'll see that in two-way football where play with play, both sides of the field, where even Gage Rassiter, the quarterback, is playing safety.
Well, you know those linebackers, Farrell and Peters, are going to be watching Dollar like a hawk now after that 91-yard rush. They are going to want to wrap him up as soon as they can.
Or maybe they're watching him like an eagle. Straight run from the quarterback, Alexander, and Alexander will pick up the first down himself all the way up to the Frankton 27-yard line. Well, I'll say one thing, is I drove into Frankton for the first time. There was the Welcome to Frankton sign, but behind it kind of represents what's going on tonight. It says, "This is Eagles country," and now you see all the four-wheelers lined up over here, all the students in the student section, the band, and all the fans. This definitely is 110% Eagles country. They love their high school football here.
Absolutely. What a great atmosphere we've got here tonight at Frankton High School, and it's shaping up to be a great game so far.
Alexander had a high snap, was able to hand it off to Dollar. Dollar just keeps battling for every yard he has. He had maybe 3 or 4 Eagles on him, and with the help of some of his linemen, kept his feet going, even with his back to the end zone, and gained maybe 3 or 4 more yards after being initially stopped.
Ty Dollar only 5'10", 185, but a good majority of that 185 is in his legs, and he kept those legs moving that time to fall forward and make something out of nothing, really.
I've been really impressed at how strong the young man is, the senior running back. And he breaks a tackle as the tackler came from the edge, and it's a first down and then some, and they're marking him at the 15-yard line, coming off the edge for the Frankton defense was Austin Nunley, and somehow Dollar was able to see him using the eyes in the back of his head and cut past him and got the first down.
Not only strong, but ridiculously shifty, and we saw it behind the line of scrimmage that time for Dollar. He has looked electric tonight, carrying the football.
Just feed him more. I'm pretty sure Ezekiel Elliott wore number 15 when he was at Ohio State. Still think he wears it while with the Dallas Cowboys. Dollar goes to his left, and he's brought down by a whole bunch of Eagles. In on the play was Gage Rastetter, the quarterback. And Dollar comes up a little bit slow. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him, considering that he had 3 or 4 Eagles on top of him. And it's 2nd and 5. I'm happy to see that Rastetter. He seemed to be okay after he was lit up for that fumble that allowed Lapel to get the ball in plus territory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He gets a little revenge that time on Dollar.
That's what's kind of nice about being a two-way play. If you get lit up, you get to light someone else up after that. Fake handoff is an option kept by Alexander, and Rassetter's there. One quarterback tackling another. We already saw Farrell tackle Dollar, a running back tackling a running back, and you gotta love two-way football.
Oh, absolutely. But hey, give credit to Alexander that time. A lot of quarterbacks would hand that football off. They don't want to take that hit. But good for him for taking it. The play wasn't really going anywhere. It's going to be 3rd and long now. We'll see what Lapel doesn't throw out here.
Well, this is 100% a passing down, unless maybe you're starting to think about it, that you got 3 minutes to go, you have 2 timeouts to work with. Your defense has looked really good the last couple of drives against Frankton's offense with a 3-and-out and then forcing a fumble. And after not being able to decide what play they're going to call a timeout and talk about it. Don't go anywhere. It's 3rd and 9 from the Frankton 14-yard line with Lapel 14 yards away from taking a 2-possession lead.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
We are back, and after a long conversation from the sidelines, the Lapel Bulldogs are going to be on the left hash on a 3rd and 9 in the backfield and it's a screen play. He has a couple of blockers in front of him, and falling forward is Nick Witt, and Nick Witt is down at I would say that's the 7-yard line. And 4th and 2.
Hey, good for Lapel opening up the playbook there. We said it was probably going to be a passing down. It looked like it wasn't necessarily going anywhere, but was that the first completed pass from
I think it is.
Game? That's not a bad one. A pretty good chunk play on 3rd down. Sets them up.
At least you consider completion a pass to the opposing team. Handoff up to Hudson, and Hudson is tackled in the backfield. What a play by Hunter Brand. Hunter Brand had a really good week last week as he had a couple of sacks, but that time gets a tackle for a loss and forces the Lapel Bulldogs off the field. And with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go and 3 timeouts remaining from their own 7-yard line, how aggressive are the Eagles going to be here?
I think they've got to be pretty aggressive. They've got timeouts, and they've got a lot of time on the clock. This is an offense that can move the ball quickly. We'll see what they don't throw out here on this drive.
The last setter is underneath center. There's the snap. He drops back. They are going to be aggressive. He has pressure. He keeps it. Bruin White was chasing after him. Rassetter makes a play or miss. He misses another tackle. He gets a block, and he's going down the field. He's all the way down to the 46-yard line of Lapel. What a scamper by the quarterback, Rassetter. It was a broken pass play, and he raced away from everyone, made some Bulldogs look silly, and that's a long start to the first play of this drive.
That is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're Frankton. Get this offense rolling, even if it's not the way that you traditionally run the football. Good for Rassetter and the Eagles.
What a block it was from Farrell, too. They're going to elect to go for another pass. Looks like Rassetter is going to hold on to it, and he is sacked. Luke Sunheimer was there, and he brought him down, and good option by Frankton to take a timeout, stop the clock at 1:42, and we're going to keep it here as both teams are talking. And for me, Rassetter's run was a really good start to the drive, but now you don't want it to just go away.
Absolutely not. On both of those runs from Rassetter, both the big carry from inside the 10 and that one where he was wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, those were both designed originally to be pass plays. So Frankton is opening up the playbook. They're going to try and spread the wide receivers out. They want to look downfield and throw the ball with Rassetter, who's throwing the ball pretty well so far, if we're being honest. And I think if Frankton is able to complete a couple of passes downfield, they'll put themselves in good position to maybe tie this game at halftime.
Well, look like for me, too, Lapel been winning a lot of zone defense when it comes to passing plays against Frankton. And you go for a more nickel look right there, really cover the field, and force Frankton to get rid of the football and maybe throw it into tight coverage. And maybe you're able to force a turnover and get your offense on the field for one more drive, as Lapel was inside the red zone but could not score after there was a stop at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 after the sack from Sunheimer, and that is the 3rd offsides by Lapel, possibly. Maybe it's on Frankton.
Yeah, it looks like the Eagles are backing up.
I saw Lapel go off first, but maybe it's a slight jump from their left tackle, which is Nate Warren. The referees are having a little bit of a talk.
Yeah, tough to see. It was on the far side of the field. We'll get the call.
And it is offsides. It was on the far side, and maybe it was just a slight flinch. It's all it takes. If you have a slight itch and you get the player to jump offsides, then it is offsides on the offense. So unfortunately for Frankton, they're going to back it up to midfield, exactly at the 50-yard line, with the nose of the football touching that 50-yard line. So now 2nd and 15, still got a minute 42 to go in the first half. There's the snap. They're going for a pass. Here comes the pressure. The pocket collapse, and down goes Rastetter, but he got rid of the ball just in time as he was absolutely blown up by Bruin White, who was looking to pick up a sack. He had one last week, and he was just inches away from picking up his second one. And luckily for Frankton, one, your quarterback got rid of it, and two, it wasn't a fumble.
I have absolutely no idea how Rastetter got that ball out.
I don't either.
He went down with the ball. I thought it was going to be a big sack for Lapel. To be honest, Rastetter's a little bit lucky that there wasn't a white jersey in the area to try and pick that up. I'm not sure how the ball came out, but tough break that time for Lapel not getting the sack.
Lapel's been dialing up some blitzes and really putting some licks on the Rastetter, as Rastetter got hit last time and fumbled the ball. Rastetter going for a pass, pocket's collapsing. He's got to get rid of it. It's thrown up above the intended receiver, which was Austin Nunley. It deflected off his hands, and it's incomplete. Fourth and 15, and Frankton's just going to elect to punt it here.
Man, that's a bummer for Frankton because that was such a great throw from Rastetter right over the cornerback, straight into the hands of Nunley. He just couldn't haul it in.
And Nunley had it deflect off his hands, and luckily also it fell down harmlessly. There was a Lapel player there, but he was more worried about Nunley catching the ball than actually trying to catch the ball himself. There's the punt. They've been able to pin back Lapel a couple of times. It's a fair catch by Hudson, and Lapel will be at the drive at the 15-yard line. And there's a minute 29. You only have one timeout left. Maybe you hand the ball off to Dollar a couple of times, see if you can break one loose, and depending on how those carries go, maybe then you're aggressive to try to finish out the drive. But if not, you just let the clock run out, and then that'll be in the first half, and you'd have a 14-7 lead going into halftime.
Absolutely, and I think that's something Lapel will be very happy with if the scoreline stays as it is right now. They only had one touchdown last week. They got blown out by Hamilton Heights, but they have come here into Frankton on the road and put on a good performance through the first two quarters. We'll see if they can't finish it out, head into halftime with the lead.
Well, it's Riley Hudson out there, number 22 instead of Ty Dollar. It's a screenplay to start the drive, and that throw is off the mark.
I do not like that call one bit. That stops the clock. It makes it 2nd and 10. The number one goal here for Lapel needs to be not give Frankton the ball back, and with an incomplete pass like that stops the clock, that does not achieve your goals.
It was Evan Ossenbaugh, the intended receiver, but just again, it seems as though Alexander has just not found that release point as a quarterback. A lot of his throws have been off the mark. And it's a counter play to Hudson. That's the same play that scored a touchdown with Ty Dollar, but because of the high snap right there, it slowed down the play a little bit and didn't allow Hudson to get ahead of steam. By the time he already got to the line of scrimmage, the Eagles already knew it was going to be a handoff.
Yeah, this drive has not gone according to plan if you are Lapel. They are lucky that it is so late in the half and that Frankton's not going to have a lot of time to work with, but this has certainly not been the offense that we've seen through the first two quarters.
We're under a minute to go. The play clock is down to 10, and now Lapel's going to snap the ball. They're going to go for a pass. They go short. It's caught by number 20. 20 is coming upfield, and he gets brought down. A really nice reception by Nick Whitty, and a long first down. And one of the coaches of Frankton was unhappy. There is a flag on the field, and it's a sideline warning. Sideline warning on Frankton, as one of the referees had ran into maybe a coach or a player, and another one of those that's 15 yards, but don't let that distract you from that really nice play on a slant route to Whitty. Whitty caught it on a perfect throw from Alexander, the best throw he's had today. Somehow that broadcaster's jinx comes into play, and Alexander made us eat our words there on that long completion.
Absolutely, and a great route by Whitty as well to make it happen.
So Hudson in the backfield, more of the receiving back, trying to get someone open, throw downfield, and it was almost intercepted by Carson Ward as Alexander was under duress right there, and then Alexander just threw it to his right, trying to throw it to Whitty again, but instead there was 2 Eagles in the area, and a lot of the Eagles fans in front of us thought maybe that was going to be an interception, and even you, Sam, were kind of worried about that throw.
Oh, absolutely. It wasn't necessarily the throw other than the fact that Whitty tripped, but it was just bad timing that time with the throw from Alexander. He didn't know his receiver was going to fall down, but they catch a nice break.
20 seconds to go. The play clock's running out. They were able to snap at 1 second to go. Rolling out to his right is Alexander. Alexander throws it to his left. His open receiver that falls down, and we have 12 seconds, and Lapel, it looks like they just burned their final timeout.
Alexander pass complete to number 8.
A nice pass to Braden Barnett, the tight end of Lapel, and they get the first down, and they're going to be marked down at the 43 as you were waiting for Barnett to catch the ball and they go out of bounds, but instead he rolled, and once one knee is down, he's officially down. With the timeout, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with 12 seconds to go in the first half.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Gray Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Gray Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized.
We are back, and Lapel has the ball. They're on the Frankton 43, and there might be a couple of chucks to the end zone and see if you maybe get a pass interference or a player to come down with it. Alexander with the snap, drops back, he's being pressured, he goes to his right, he's running up the sideline, gets tripped up and falls out of bounds. A first down to the 31-yard line, and there are 6 seconds to go.
That's a huge play by Alexander that time. One thing he has done really well tonight is run the football. He had no yards on the ground last week, but he not only has a rushing touchdown, he has made big plays like that all throughout this first half using his legs.
There's Hunter Branham coming from the blind side, and some good awareness by the quarterback Alexander to recognize that and then scramble for the first down. 6 seconds on the 31. They maybe have time for one more play if they can get out of bounds quickly. Drop back. The clock is at 4. They're chucking it for the end zone. They have a receiver that's batted away. A good play by Braden Douglas, the cornerback, to knock it away. There is 1 tick left on the clock. This has to be a Hail Mary. And if you're Frankton, you're sending all your players to that end zone and dropping maybe a defensive lineman and electing for the nickel formation.
I think Frankton was banking on that being the last play of this first half, but give credit to Braden Douglas. That was a fantastic coverage that time from the senior cornerback to knock it down.
Braden Douglas making the play, and now you have those 5 defensive backs. And here comes the final play of the first half. It's a launch down the field. It's batted in the air and falls down harmlessly. And it almost turned into a touchdown for Riley Hudson, who had the ball initially, but it was knocked away by the Frankton Eagles. And with that, that's the end of our first half, with the Bulldogs leading it 14-7. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back and we'll look around the Muncie area and give you some score updates. And again, as both teams head into the locker room, it's 14-7, and a very exciting game thus far. I'm Andrew Meyer with Sam Niger. We're going to send it to a break and come back for the halftime show.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Gray Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Gray Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you.
Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Welcome back to Frankton High School in Frankton, Indiana. As we're going to get a little bit of the halftime show. And if you're watching the halftime show, we're going to update you on scores in the Muncie area, starting with the Tri-Central game. They're leading the West Delaware Warriors 14-0 at halftime. Newcastle Trojans lead the Triton Central Tigers 14-7. The Alexandria Monroe Tigers are up 14-0 on the Wabash Apaches. The Madison Grants Argyles are blowing out the Southern Wells Raiders 33-0 in the second quarter. Heritage Christian Eagles are up 1 point on Shenandoah Raiders 20-19. Fremont Eagles up 24-15 on the Blackfoot Bruins. Pendleton Heights leads Anderson 28-6 in the second quarter. And that is it from around the area. And your score from here is 14-7 in favor of the Lapel Bulldogs. We're going to bring Sam Niger into this. And Sam, tell us a little bit about that first half and what you saw from Frankton and Lapel.
Well, first of all, let's give credit where credit is due to Lapel. They played a great first half on both sides of the ball. They really bounced back after such a tough week last week against Hamilton Heights. They ran the ball well with Tyler Dollar, the 91-yard touchdown. You can't argue with that. I mean, he is explosive. He is the star on offense for the Bulldogs, but also Luke Alexander as well. Ran the ball pretty well. He has the other touchdown rushing for the Bulldogs. His arm has not been great, and we understand that. He had a 4.2 QBR last week. It hasn't improved much this week as well. But as for Frankton, I think they need to get their running backs more involved. I think they need to get back to what they know they're good at. Crew Farrell and Nate Lazader are two of the better running backs in the area, and when they use that tandem effectively, they're a tough team to stop. Gage Rastetter has been pretty good through the air. He's made some great throws, and they've certainly got the passing attack going more than Lapel has. But both defenses have played well. I mean, 14-7. Those are solid scores at half from a defensive perspective. For Frankton, what they need to do to win this game, though, is they need to go back to the run. They need to go back to what they're good at. Lapel, just ride your momentum. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep looking at Dollar. And we're in for a great second half. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I would have to say I was really impressed with Ty Dollar. You look at the numbers and you're thinking to yourself, this kid is good. But you don't realize how good he really is until you see him play. And you've talked about it. You've listed off so many great traits about this running back. His shiftiness, his explosiveness, and not only that, but his ability to keep the legs churning and getting past the Frankton defense and gaining more yards after he's initially hit. But also for me, for Frankton, I was also impressed because they threw the ball, 11 times last week? I think they threw maybe just as amount as that in the first half in this game, especially in the last couple of drives. And with a more balanced attack, you're really going to keep the Lapel defense on their heels. And the The Lapel Bulldogs lead 14-7 due to Ty Dollar's long 91-yard touchdown run. The Frankton Eagles had a nice run from the quarterback Gage Lasseter inside the 1-yard line as he battled all the way to the pylon on a 4th and goal. We're going to take a break, and then we will come back and talk more about the Lapel and Frankton football game and a tight 14-7 game. We're at halftime.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
We are back at Frankton High School with the Frankton Athletic Director, Brent Robston. And Brent, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You guys are down 7 points after the first half, but how impressed are you with the turnout today, with all the fans? And I have to say, I'm also really impressed with the group of four-wheelers down the end zone off to our right. I've never seen that before. That is unique.
Yeah, it's a unique experience, and it's something that Frankton and Lapel both had the opportunity to allow golf carts and UTVs in, and got to kind of bury them off down at the end zone, but it makes for a great environment, and yeah, in terms of the environment, this is as good as it gets.
I've also read about this football field. It's brand new. You can still smell the new turf as you walk into the stadium for the first time. And you also have a really good coach that's really pushing old school football and trying to get this team back on track after a rough one-win season a couple of years ago. How impressed are you with the new coach of Frankton?
Yeah, Mark's been super impressive to me. I couldn't ask for anything else. He's continued down at the youth programs, just done a wonderful job with starting our youth football league and getting us in our Central Indiana Conference league with that. And, in terms of spending time and effort and what he's done, it's just been awesome for our program and for our community. And, I can't say enough about him. He's done a wonderful job. He's hired a great staff around him. And, I think we're starting to turn the corner on some things, and obviously last week for us was a big win, and today Lapel's got a great program every year. Tim Miller does a fantastic job there, so it's a big game for us, and obviously he's had our team prepared coming into this game, but he's done a wonderful job. Extremely happy with him.
Yeah, Frankton had a fun game last week, 14-13, a nice pick six that would help them win the game from Nunley. And now you've mentioned it, Lapel's got a really good team. They're only leading you guys by a touchdown thanks to a long 91-yard touchdown run. What do you think your team has to do to walk away with the win tonight against the Bulldogs?
Yeah, it's always, it's a rivalry game. It's a difficult game. And like I said, Coach Miller, I've had a lot of respect for him. He's a great guy, and he does a wonderful job at Lapel. He's had a program there for several years. He's just used to winning. And our coach obviously has got a philosophy and a system in place now that we feel very comfortable with, and I think our kids are getting better and better each night. Second half's going to be very interesting, and it's a close first half, so we'll see where it goes here, but I think you're right. We just have two really good, solid football programs going at it.
Thanks for joining us. We're really happy to have you on, and we're going to send it over to a break. It's still 14-7 in favor of Lapel here at halftime from Frankton High School.
Thanks for having me.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
In halftime, the Lapel Bulldogs are leading 14-7. They're back onto the field as they're getting ready to do their warm-ups and their calisthenics before trying to defend their 7-point lead to kick off the second half. And Frankton Eagles should be following them momentarily as Sam Niger will be rejoining us after working out with some of the technical difficulties. And Sam will be taking the play-by-play for the second half, so let's hand it off to Sam.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. I'm super excited to be taking over the play-by-play duties. Glad we got those technical difficulties figured out because it would be such a shame if we were to miss what's been such a great game so far between Lapel and Frankton. Lapel, of course, the away team here trying to bounce back after a tough Week 1 loss against Hamilton Heights, and they've put on a pretty good show so far here in this first half, up 14-7. Through the efforts of Alexander and Dollar on the ground. As for Frankton, the only touchdown also on the ground from the quarterback, Gage Rastetter. But Rastetter has certainly looked better through the air than Alexander, and I'm just super excited to get ready for this second half because we are in store for a great game, a rivalry, as we just heard from the Frankton Athletic Director. let's go.
Yeah, we don't want to pat ourselves on the back too much. As we called it in the pregame show, this was going to be a very physical football game, very run-heavy. I mean, we got to see more passing than we did last week from either side. As I mentioned it in the halftime show, Frankton only threw the ball 11 times, and I'm willing to bet they threw around maybe 9 or 10 times in that first half. And even so, even if they did try to throw it, they usually would just put it in their pocket and run with it. But I was really impressed with Frankton. This is a team that has not been able to beat Lapel, and they held their own through the first half.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a big rivalry game for them. They're at home on this beautiful new turf. They've looked good so far, but they need to be better. There's some room for improvement. I know I touched on early in the halftime break, but they need to go back to the run. Go back to what you're good at. Lizader and Farrell last week, each 14 carries, over 50 yards apiece. Farrell had the lone touchdown on the ground for Frankton, but neither of them have yet to score the ball tonight. So I'd like to see a little more of them, especially early in this third quarter. Set the tone on offense if you're Frankton.
Yeah, and if you're Lapel, you really want the passing game to get going. I mean, the first 2 weeks, this is your time to kick the rust off and get back into the mentality of finding that release point and being very successful in not just the run game, but also the passing game. If you don't have a passing game going late into the playoffs, you start playing some really good teams. Teams are going to view you as one-dimensional, and that's really what Lapel looked like in that first half.
Absolutely. Alexander did get rolling a little bit towards the end of that first half, but he's going to need to be better as well. Whitty was a favorite target of his, and Whitty's a big kid at 6'4", 190, the junior. So I'd like to see a little more Alexander to Whitty connection here in this second half if Lapel wants to seal the deal. It looks like we're just a couple moments away from kickoff now. The Lapel Bulldogs standing on the field on the far side now. The quarterback, Rastetter for Frankton, is getting warmed up here on the sidelines. Just moments away from football here in the second half at Frankton High School. We've got about a minute and a half, so let's go to break for just a couple of ads. We'll be right back here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Once again, my name is Sam Niger. Andrew Mild is joining me. Don't go anywhere because we have got a great second half of action coming up right after this.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Back to Frankton High School, ladies and gentlemen. Moments away from second half football here between the Eagles of Frankton, the hometown team, as they trail the Lapel Bulldogs 14-7. Back deep to receive for the Bulldogs is number 10, Colin Jannings. It's a deep kick this time from Frankton. It's fielded inside the 10. The return man is Whitty, and Whitty brings it all the way out to the 35-yard line, and that's going to be decent field position. A good start for the Lapel Bulldogs on offense.
David knows the ball was returned, brought down by
Well, you talked about it in the first half. The Lapel Bulldogs had won the coin toss but elected to defer, and with them having a 14-7 lead, and they're going to start at their own 35-yard line. If they score a touchdown and go up 2 possessions, next thing you know, Frankton's going to have to go up a large hill against a very good Lapel defense that's stepped up the last couple of drives.
Certainly, and we're going to get to see Alexander here for the first time in this second half. From the gun to start. He's going to give it to Dollar straight away. Dollar to the right, takes a hit right around the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be swallowed up right at about the 35-yard line. No loss of yardage on the play, but no gain either. It's going to be second down and 10, as it seemed like the whole Frankton defense was in on the tackle that time.
Cheerleaders will be selling 50 feet.
They did say a flock of eagles, and I think they're spot on right there. There's a lot of red jerseys in that area, and you have to know in the halftime locker room they were saying, we got to stop Dollar if we want to win this game.
Snap to Alexander. He's going to go straight to the air. It's out to Whitty, as we mentioned earlier. Whitty hauls it in, and he is stonewalled after about an 8-yard pitch and catch. No yardage after the catch that time for big number 20, Whitty. But that was good for Alexander to get rolling here early in this third quarter.
Yeah, that just looked like a simple curl route from Whitty, and Alexander's going to keep going to him as his comfort blanket, really, as he completed most of his passes to Whitty, who had a pretty good first half.
Whitty only 2 catches last week for 6 yards, but he was still targeted the most out of Alexander, out of any of the receivers Alexander was throwing to, I should say. And it looks like Alexander's going to go from the gun here as well. Two receivers out to his left. He's going to give it to Dollar. Dollar trying to shake free from another tackler right at the line of scrimmage, but the whole Frankton defense is in there again to swallow it up, and Dollar is stopped short. That's going to bring up 4th down, and that'll bring out the punting unit for the Lapel Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Frankton Eagles really stepped up on that 3rd down and forcing a 3-and-out. Don't know if we saw Lapel go 3-and-out in that entire first half, but when they get the ball first and you stop them on 3 plays, that's some really good news for Frankton trying to build up on some momentum.
Back deep to punt for Lapel is Quentin Roberts, number 27. And it's a low snap, mishandled, and he is going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, so a huge special teams play for Frankton, and they're going to get the ball back in great field position on the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs, and that deflates Lapel immediately after a good start through the air from the quarterback, Alexander. The drive slows, and eventually it's a huge turnover on downs for Lapel.
Are you shocked that it was Hunter Branham in the backfield? He has just been lethal for Frankton. He's just a big guy that can get past the offensive lineman, get into the backfield, and force some big stops.
Absolutely. Now a little bit of a hurry up on offense for Frankton. Under center is Rastetter. Rastetter gives it straight to number 22, Farrell. Farrell to his right, takes a couple of shots, but he keeps those legs churning, and he's got enough for a first down. That's going to go down as about an 11-yard rush on first down. So getting back to the basics, going back to the ground, and Frankton moves the sticks immediately.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about Tyler Dollar, but you cannot discredit Crew Farrell's first half. He had some pretty good runs himself against the Lapel defense, and right there he gets a first down, again about 11 to 12 yards, and you get the tackle the punter on 4th down, get good field position, then you get a first down first play.
Under center again, it's Rastetter. He's going to give it again, but this time Farrell is swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to be dropped for about a 4-yard loss, and that was a great read that time by the Lapel defense. Drew Bracken in on the solo tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, it just looked like a miscommunication there by the Frankton offensive lineman as Drew Bracken went in untouched, and it was really easy for him to get that tackle on Farrell because Farrell looked up and he had nowhere to go because there was already a black helmet right in front of him.
A big rebounding game so far for Bracken, as he had no tackles recorded last game. He's already had a few, and that was a big one in the backfield on first down. Now under center, Rastetter. It's 2nd and long. Fakes the pitch. He's going to give it inside to Lazader, and Lazader is swallowed up immediately. Another fantastic read by the Lapel defense, and in on the tackle that time was Anthony Prater, the big boy up front, 6'2", 320 pounds. And nobody is getting by him, especially when it's wrapped up in the middle like that.
Yeah, Prater is the nose tackle for a reason. He really pushed back that center, and by the time they were able to hand it off to their running back, Nate Lazader, who was lined up as a split back that time, he had nowhere to go. Back-to-back plays where the Battle of the Trenches was won by Lapel.
Now it's a 3rd and 15, so a lot of room for Frankton to work. The snap is fumbled. Rastetter picks it up. He's rolling out to his right. It looks like he's just going to run. Chucks it downfield, and it was caught, but not before stepping out of bounds. For a second, I thought it was maybe an
There's a flag on the sideline nearest to us. Maybe this is a roughing the passer.
Yeah, late hit out of bounds. So this could be a great break for the Frankton Eagles after a less than impressive drive. The offense appears to be staying out there for the Eagles, and this could be a big hit to Lapel, who just put up a great 3 plays on the defensive side.
Here's the call. Yep, exactly what the call is. You had to know it with Lazada being in that area where the yellow marker was, and 15 yards. That is a break indeed for Frankton, who the offensive line didn't look good in the 2 plays before that. Then you had a bad snap that was on the turf for a couple of seconds, and for the second time tonight, where Rastetter rolled out and was able to draw a foul in some way and get a first down.
Absolutely. Rastetter paid the price that time, though. He was slow getting back to the huddle. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the Eagles go to the ground with one of their running backs, either Lazada or Farrell. It is now 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Fresh set of downs for the Eagles. Rastetter surveys. He's under center, where he'll take the snap. Oh, he is hit as he tries to get the handoff away, and falling on it is big number 75, Anthony Prater. A huge play for the Bulldogs as they swarmed Rastetter. Wasn't able to hold on to the football. 5 fumbles last week for the Eagles, and that is a huge pickup on the ground
From the Bulldogs. Yeah, and for the Lapel, they dialed up a blitz with Bruin White, and Bruin White got back there before Gage Rastetter had anything to do. And if you're a Rastetter, you're just upset with your O-lineman right now. They did not protect you at all in that last couple of drives. That's how their last drive ended too. Him getting blown up from the blitz from the outside linebacker, Luke Sunheimer. And yeah, that's 2 more fumbles on Rastetter. You don't even really call fumbles on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Now a chance to respond for the Bulldogs. Alexander rolls out to his right. He's got some room. He's going to chuck it straight downfield, and he overthrows Whitty, but just by a hair as it went off the fingertips of Whitty's left hand. But already we are seeing that connection between Whitty and Alexander here in that second half. Alexander, despite not having the best season through a game and a half so far, he's not afraid to throw the football.
Well, I don't know if you could hear it, but there was a lot of chatter from the Lapel sideline. I think they were looking for a pass interference as Whitty was bumped by, I believe it might have been the safety Carson Ward or maybe even Braden Douglas, who were both in the area. Just didn't get the call. They didn't think it was enough to throw him off from that pass.
It'll be 2nd and 10 now. From the gun is Alexander. Looks like they're running the same exact play scheme. He's going to check it down to Whitty, who makes the grab, shakes the tackler, has the first down, and he's wrapped up from behind after moving the sticks. So Alexander, once again, rolls straight out to his right, looks immediately at Whitty, and I think they've set the tone as to what they want their offense to look like here in this second half.
Yeah, a lot more passing from Lapel to start the second half. Again, you and I talked about it. You need a passing game in two-way Indiana football if you're going to be successful. You can't rely on Ty Dollar all the time to get you the big plays.
Absolutely. Dollar has not been super effective here in this third quarter, but he gets the carry this time, bouncing out to his left, hesitating, breaks the tackler. He's going to move the sticks. He's got some room to run. Shakes away from another defender. He is heading downfield. Can anyone bring him down? They can inside the 20, but a huge play from Dollar. Right as we said he hadn't gotten going, he makes us eat our words once more. But there is a penalty flag down all the way back behind the line of scrimmage. So all that effort from Dollar might be coming back as we await the call, but it appears that even the Frankton sideline is moving towards their defensive end zone.
There's another flag down here too. Yeah, 2 flags, and one where it started and one where it ended.
Do you think perhaps we're seeing a face mask or
it might be seen offsetting?
Yeah. Both teams jogging back to the original line of scrimmage here as we get the call. There's a personal foul against Lapel and a face mask against Frankton. So all that effort is for naught if you're Dollar, but no loss of downs. We're just going to replay first down. Oh, and actually it looks like the personal foul, I forgot, it outweighs that face mask for Frankton. So I think it should move the ball back. Oh, no. Scratch that. We're going to have a
I see what you were trying to say there.
We have a replay of first down from the same line of scrimmage at around the 36-yard line.
But, man, you got to feel bad for Ty Dollar right there. He worked as hard as he could and got down the field. He broke about 4 or 5 tackles, and now he's back to where he started, all the way back on their own 35-yard line.
That's not going to faze him, though. Still one of the hardest working players on the field. Alexander takes a snap from the gun. A little bit of a bad snap. Alexander's forced to run to his right. He's got a hole. He's got some space, picks up the first down into Frankton territory before being hauled down from behind. That was number 3, the free safety, Carson Ward, that made the read and eventually brought Alexander down.
Yards for Lapel, first down.
Yeah, for a quarterback, he's very nimble on his feet and knows how to plant that foot in the ground and make it move and make these tacklers miss. I'm impressed with Alexander. Maybe he's been watching a lot of Tyler Dollar from the sidelines the last couple of seasons, as he's a junior and Dollar is a senior.
Alexander from the gun once more. He's got Dollar in the backfield with him. 2 receivers out to his left, 1 out to his right. His favorite target, Whitty. They're going to give it to Dollar. Dollar out to his left, running horizontally, and he gets wrapped up way behind the line of scrimmage. A fantastic read that time, and leading the charge for the Frankton Eagles was number 24, Isaiah Malone, the cornerback. Read it right away and hauled Dollar down well behind the line of scrimmage. That is an 8-yard loss for Dollar, and that's got to be one of the hardest runs we've seen from Dollar, or one of the least productive runs from Dollar that we've seen in this game so far.
Yeah, a bit of payback from the Frankton Eagles. They're sick of seeing him run down the field. They want him to go backwards. And you're right, it was a really good play by Isaiah Malone, and then Austin Nunley came from his safety position and brought down Tyler Dollar. Maybe the first time we see him tackled in the backfield in this ball game.
Alexander now has a big hole in front of him, and his pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Ty Everson, the defensive tackle, number 73. He's 6'2", 263 pounds. It's hard to get the ball around him when you're going to throw it through the middle.
Yeah, that's some really good coaching by the Frankton Eagles right there, knowing that, hey, if you're not going to get in the backfield, might as well put those big clubs of hands up in the air and knock it away. And that's one way to make sure a pass is not completed, is when it falls harmlessly at the line of scrimmage.
Well, the offense did not look great for Frankton on their first drive, but the defense has come out fiery here in this second half for the Frankton Eagles. 3rd and long now. Play action. Alexander out to his right. He is pressured, and he just falls to the ground. That is a sack. Inside is number 72 and number 22. 72 is Hunter Branham, and 22 is the inside linebacker, Crew Farrell, who's also a running back. The two of them combined for a huge loss, and that is going to be 4th and forever for Lapel, and they are going to bring on the punting unit.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that after a first down from Tyler Dollar and then from Luke Alexander, that they're all the way back on their own 35-yard line, where the line of scrimmage is marked all the way up at the 46.
Somewhat short punt here as the fair catch is called for, but it scooped through the arms of the returner and falls right back to Lapel. So the Bulldogs are going to get it back. Number 34 for the Bulldogs recovered it. That is Tyler Lutz. That's the first time we've had his name called. But hey, if you're going to make an impression, why not do it on special teams? So Frankton gave the first hit on special teams, brought the Lapel punter back, and now Lapel recovers the botched fair catch, and now the officials having a bit of a conversation.
Yeah, the men in the zebra shirts are discussing, and now they're going to say lapel ball. That's the right call.
Yeah, I think for sure. Even though the fair catch was called for, the return man never actually had possession of the football.
Yeah, because I think they were discussing on if it deflected off of him and then went into the arms of Lutz, or Lutz had ripped it away, in which case it would be illegal because of the fair catch.
But I think the officials definitely got the call right that time, as Lapel's going to take back over now on the 41-yard line of Frankton. They get a nice break and perhaps a chance to add to their lead. Alexander from the gun. He is going to give it to number 22. That is not Dollar, as he's going to roll out to his right and be brought down. Number 22 for...
that's Riley Hudson.
That's Riley Hudson, thank you. The backup running back to Tyler Dollar.
Carson Ward for the Eagles. Brings up second down for Lapel.
Yeah, Hudson is the backup running back for Lapel this season. Really known more for his pass-catching ability than known for his running, as he led the team in receptions and receiving yards last week with 4 catches for 14 yards. That time he gets a handoff and didn't really go anywhere.
Well, he's got some great leadership in front of him with Dollar. Just a sophomore is Hudson, but he's got some good carries tonight. And he's made his presence felt for sure, as he's going to stay in the ball game. Alexander is going to drop back to pass. He's pressured immediately again. He loses the football. Another fumble. Both sides trying to fall on top of it, and it looks like Lapel was able to recover it.
But they're calling it incomplete.
An incomplete pass. The ball rolled around a lot on the turf before that signal was made. So it's actually going to be 3rd and 9. And that's the best case scenario if you're Lapel there.
Yeah, you'll take an incomplete pass instead of a fumble after you just got a botched punt from Frankton. You don't want to give them the ball right back. And for Lapel, now you have to bounce back and try to get this first down after you start on really good territory on their 41-yard line.
Now from the 39, Alexander looks to throw quickly out to his left. The grab is made. This is number 10, Colin Jannings, and he falls forward for the first down. That's the first grab of the night for Jannings, and he moves the sticks on a big 3rd down grab.
And I think that's Jannings' first catch this season. I don't think he made any receptions last week. And for Colin Jannings, he's 6'1", and he was matched up against a shorter corner. So for Alexander, he knew that. He put it on the top shelf and let the big boy go get it.
Alexander looks like a completely different quarterback.
He really does.
He was nervous, especially in that first half, not making the right throws, not going through his reads, but he looks very settled here in this 3rd quarter.
For a quarterback, you have to have confidence. If you're not confident as a quarterback, everyone else around you isn't confident, and it hurts you.
Alexander is going to give it to Dollar this time, who's back in the game. Dollar plows through that secondary for Frankton, and it takes the whole Frankton defense to bring him down well into the secondary inside the red zone, and a flag comes in late. Maybe a little unnecessary roughness. A couple of Frankton players clapping their hands. I wonder if this isn't going to go against Lapel.
I think they're pointing at Lapel.
This is going to go against the Bulldogs. So, once again, a great rush by Dollar is marred by penalties.
Now I'm starting to wonder here if he will still get the yards, and this was after the play. So now we'll be 2nd and about 20.
Still awaiting the call from the officials. No call yet. Neither side has really moved in one direction or the other.
Maybe it's 2 personal fouls.
So personal foul called against both Lapel and Frankton. Oh, it's going to be just against Lapel. There was only one. So that is going to back the Bulldogs way up.
Yeah, that's a dead ball foul. So the play had ended, and then there was a penalty. So Dollar's still going to get the yards, technically, but also you lose the down. It's now 2nd forever.
The sticks on the far side of the field have first down. I think because Dollar did have the yard to gain, and it was after the play, it's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Bulldogs. Alexander from the gun again. He's got Dollar in there. Dollar huffing and puffing a little bit after the work he put in on his last carry. Alexander to throw again. He fakes, rolls out to his right. He's looking end zone this time. He's got Whitty. Oh, he was nearly picked off. It was deflected away in the end zone that time, right off the hands of the cornerback on the far side. I believe that was Braden Douglas on the coverage.
Yeah, it was Braden Douglas. And Alexander, he did a really good job of keeping the feet moving, saw that pocket was collapsed and got out of it. I'm just not a huge fan of that. Sometimes he just likes to heave the football, and I think that's where he gets into trouble, because he heaved that one. It should have been an easy interception for Braden Douglas there. Luckily, it looked as though that Whitty had turned from wide receiver to safety all of a sudden.
Lots of improvements still to be had for Alexander. Just a junior, so he's got time, but certainly with the game on the line tonight, they expect a lot of him. He's going to take the snap again, give it to Dollar. Dollar cuts it back to his right. He's got a hole. He plows into the secondary once more, and he gets a lot of the yardage back that they lost on the personal foul. Didn't take as many Eagles to bring him down this time, but he moves the sticks nonetheless.
I think here's another characteristic you can add to Tyler Dollar. He's got an engine that does not stop. His endurance and stamina to keep going out there and keep getting these carries has been truly incredible. He has touched the ball a lot tonight, which you expected, but a lot of them in a short amount of time, as sometimes Frankton was out there in a 3 and out, or this last time, Lapel was on the field and then punted, and then Frankton botched it, and then they got the ball right back, and he had to go right back onto the field.
Absolutely. Alexander on the draw, gives it back to Dollar. Some hesitation now, out to the left. Didn't have a whole lot of room to run that time, but he kept the play alive for as long as he could before Frankton brings him down. Not much yardage on that play. It's a tough angle from up here in the booth. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe another yard, but it's going to be second down and pretty long for Lapel. Another thing I do want to say, second down and 12, a loss of 2, now that we get the official call.
Another thing I do want to bring up about Dollar is that he also plays safety as well, so they have him running all over the place on both sides of the ball.
Well, I hope we have some oxygen on that side of the football field, because that young man has earned it tonight.
For sure. Now Alexander facing a 2nd and long. We've got about 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. Quick screen pass. He's got Whitty. Whitty able to shake a tackler. He's got some room in front of him. Whitty inside the 10, and he brings it down to the 5-yard line where he's finally hauled down by the jerseys in red. And it will be 1st and goal now from the 5. Another great throw by Alexander. They get it out of his hands quickly to Whitty, and he moves the sticks.
Yeah, I like the play call right there. You get it to your playmaker. Whitty makes some moves, but also got some good blocking out in front.
They'll give it to Dollar up the middle this time. Takes a hit in the backfield, still going, but this time it looks like the Frankton defense is going to hold strong. It's going to be a decent pickup for Dollar. Initially, it looked like he had the engine to go to the end zone, but he took a shot in the backfield, and Frankton's able to stonewall him at about the 2. We'll see if the Bulldogs don't pick up the pace here on offense. We noted that earlier in the game that they do like to run a fairly fast offense. And it looks like Alexander's going to go under center here, and he's going to try and do it himself. Still awaiting the call from the official. No ruling yet. They're going to say he's down just inches short. My goodness, it's going to be 3rd down and just a fraction of a yard.
Yeah, that was about 2nd and 2 to go, and then they cut that in half and maybe got a yard and a half, and they are knocking on the door. They are so close.
Once again, under center. Again, it's Alexander. Did he get there this time? Lapel thinks yes, still waiting the call from the officials. It is a touchdown, the 2nd rushing touchdown of the night from Alexander. Back-to-back plays under center, and he gets it done with his legs.
Well, that's just called being a little stubborn. Going back-to-back on QB sneaks. Really the whole way of being able to get successful on the QB sneak is getting that back leg behind you and driving with it. Tom Brady's perfected it, and tonight Luke Alexander made it look pretty easy.
Absolutely. 2 carries for no yards last week. He's got as many touchdowns as he had carries last week now. An impressive stat for Alexander, who's looked good on the ground.
Cole Miller back to kick the extra point for the Bulldogs.
Now Cole Miller on to kick the extra point. And he punches it straight through the uprights. So now a 2-score game separating Lapel and Frankton. The Bulldogs on the road lead 21-7 over Frankton. We're going to cut to a break. Once again, my name is Sam Niger, along with Andrew Mild here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Stay with us.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Gray Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Gray Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frankton High School, where the hometown Eagles trail the Lapel Bulldogs 21-7 as the kickoff is a line drive straight into the ground, fielded by the Eagles. Running to his right is number 4 for Frankton, or number 9 for Frankton, excuse me. That is number 9, Brady Carmack. And a little shoving after the play. You wonder if Frankton isn't a little on edge now, down by 2 scores. But, Andrew, what do the Eagles at home have to do to get back in this game and make it a competitive second half?
You got to start controlling the trenches. The last couple of drives, you've allowed your quarterback to get absolutely lit up. And I'm just shocked that somehow, some way, that Gage Rastetter has been able to get up and come back for more, as he got blown out to close out the first half and begin the second half. He got blown up again on the sidelines for a personal foul. They got hit again trying to just hand the ball off.
Well, it is certainly go time for the Eagles, as Rastetter's going to line up under center. Rastetter calling it audible after reading the defense.
Drops back. He's going to throw. He'll take it right up the middle. He thought he saw a hole, but the Lapel defense read it well that time to swallow him up. Big number 83 inside that time for the Bulldogs. That is Matt Carpenter. That's his not his first tackle, but one of his first few tonight as we wind down in the final seconds here of the third quarter, about 10 or so seconds to play. So we've got one final play here in the third quarter. Can the Eagles make something of it?
I'll say one thing. Matt Carpenter has really been a difference maker tonight.
Yeah. Under center. Play action. Ooh, and a huge shot that time against Rastetter. And once again, it is Carpenter who delivers the hit. And that is one way to go out with a boom if you are Lapel here in this third quarter. That brings us to the end of quarter number 3. We've got the fourth quarter ahead of us. And Lapel has made their mark on this second half so far on both sides of the ball, especially with that big hit here. Up 21-7 with 12 minutes left to play. Once again, my name is Sam Niger. Andrew Mild with me here at Frankton High School on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
And we welcome you back to Frankton High School, where it is third down for the hometown Eagles, trailing by 14. They've got a third down and long after the sack by big number 83, Matt Carpenter, the defensive end for Lapel, on the final play of the third quarter, I should say. Now under center to start this fourth quarter is Rastetter. Rastetter drops back. He is going to throw. He's hit from behind. Once again, he lost the football. He's able to fall back on top of it to avoid the great field position that time for Lapel. And for the third consecutive play, guess who it is who makes the big play on defense? It's Matt Carpenter, and that is going to bring on the punting unit for Frankton deep within their own territory. There's been some special teams mistakes already in this game, and you got to wonder if Frankton isn't a bit on it, if Frankton isn't a bit on edge here.
Matt Carpenter has just been a menace to the Frankton offense in this game.
Able to get the punt away that time is Falink. It's not a great one. It's going to stay in Frankton territory. And Lapel will have great field position at the Eagles' 38-yard line with 11 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in this fourth quarter. We're going to keep it here so we can give you some scores around East Central Indiana, the Muncie area. Currently, Blackford on the road at Fremont is trailing 21-30 to the Fremont Eagles. The Tri-Central Trojans lead the Westdale Warriors 14-0 at half. The Newcastle Trojans lead the Triton Central Tigers also at the half, 14-7. Yorktown is currently leading the Muncie Central Bearcats 20-7. And we're going to pick back up on offense for the Lapel Bulldogs now with great field position at the 38-yard line of the Eagles. From the gun once more, it's Alexander. Alexander, play action. He's going to run for it this time. Lost his footing a little bit in the backfield, but he's able to fall forward for a bit of a 3-yard pickup. And it looks like there is a Frankton Eagle who is going to be limping off the field. That is number 15 for the Eagles, who usually does not play defense.
Jalen Still.
That's Jalen Stellwag.
Yeah, I think maybe a touchdown here might be the nail in the coffin for Frankton.
Absolutely. The Eagles are definitely going to want to shore things up on defense here. From the gun again, Alexander. Again, he'll go to the ground. And again, he gets a nice chunk play straight up the gut. About 4 more yards. That's going to make it 3rd down and short, and this is a huge 3rd down here for the Eagles defense.
And if you're Tyler Dollar, you're getting pretty excited that your quarterback is taking most of the carries now, so you can get your break from not only playing defense, but also having a lot of carries tonight and a lot of long ones. You've had to put on as many moves as you can and break away from some of the Frankton defenders.
It has certainly been an exhausting game for Dollar, as it looks like Hudson is in the ball game now. They're going to give it to Hudson. Out to his right, and he is swallowed up by the Eagles defense, trying to fall forward. Did he get the yard to gain? He had to get past the 30. He does. Was it enough for a 1st down? No signal to move the sticks yet. He might be just short.
Riley Hudson on the carry for the
4th and 1, so now decision-making time. Andrew, what do you do?
Oh, you're going for it. You're going for it. If you score this touchdown and go up 3 possessions, and it's getting late in the 4th quarter, under 10 minutes, the game's nothing but 1 at that point. And the way your defense has been controlling the game, you can live with if not converting this and allow your defense to stop Frankton again.
Absolutely, and it's the QB keeper this time from Alexander. We saw it to score the touchdown on the last drive, and definitely has the yardage to gain this time.
That's the default button. Going back to the QB sneak whenever you need a short gain, but hey, it worked before, it'll work again, and if they can't stop it, keep using it.
I'm really impressed with Alexander in the second half.
Yeah.
He has come into his own, as on the ground, through the air. Look, he hasn't been a spectacular passer tonight, but he has made the good throws when they've counted. And he's looked Whitty's way a lot, number 20. They've had a good connection, and he's showing some good signs here early in the season.
Yeah, I think whatever was going wrong with him, they were able to fix it at halftime.
This time Hudson gets the carry out to his left, trying to spin away from the Frankton tacklers. He picks up about 2 yards. He goes down at about the 25-yard line. So 2nd and 8 now for the Lapel Bulldogs.
I do like what you said, though, about Alexander in the way that his body language has really been telling a story, too. If a quarterback's not confident, the rest of the team can't really follow. And I think Alexander has been able to shake off those rough throws that he's had last week and even to start off this game today, and has really had a bounce back half in the second half of this Frankton game.
Alexander from the gun. He gives it up the middle. And running with it is Dollar. Dollar right back into the game, and he takes it inside the 10 for another explosive run. But once more, a flag is down on the field, and you wonder if Dollar's carry isn't going to come back again. Still awaiting the call from the officials. It looks like the Frankton defense is staying very close to their goal line, so you wonder if this isn't on Frankton.
Well, Alexander had his hands on his head, and he looked like he was upset with the call. And did they pick it up? No, it's coming back.
Call is holding on the Bulldogs.
Holding against Lapel. So that is another tough break for Dollar, who has just been a workhorse tonight for the Bulldogs. I mean, you do hate to see that. He's had some great carries in this second half that have come back. And, of course, he's going to be wanting to look for his 2nd touchdown. 91 yards is fantastic, but a 2-touchdown day would certainly be the cherry on top for Dollar.
Now I'm starting to wonder if Tyler Dollar has lost more yards due to penalties this game than he did in the 91-yard touchdown.
Oh, perhaps, as he's going to get the call again up the middle. And once again, he turns on the engine. Still going now as he takes on the entire Frankton defense.
He's still not down.
A little extracurriculars going on after the play. Number 72, that's Hunter Branham, who delivered a little bit of an extra hit there on Dollar. That's 2 big boys going up against each other. And if things are going to start getting chippy, there's some athletes out there that could probably throw some.
It's rivalry week, man. It's rivalry week. It's going to happen. It's just good, hard-nosed football right there. Emotions run high, and as long as there's nothing being thrown at one another like Aaron Darnold did yesterday to the Bengals, we're all good.
It is a big 3rd down coming up now for Frankton after the penalty against Lapel. 7:40 to play, so it's still reasonable that Frankton has a shot here. It's a low snap, picked up by Alexander, and the Eagles bring him down for the sack. That is a tough break for Lapel. They've had some fluky plays here on this drive, and it is not going to result in any points unless we see a field goal kicked here. Or perhaps another 4th down call for the offense.
Go for it. You're inside the red zone, or you're just inside the red zone. Go for it.
Kicking is not the strength of the Bulldogs. They haven't had a field goal yet this year, so this is certainly a reasonable and kind of expected call for the Bulldogs with Alexander in the gun once more. He's got Dolligan behind him. Alexander will throw. We might get a free play here as he looks to the end zone. Whitty brings it in. The nail in the coffin. You called it, Andrew. But there is a flag down. We noted it right at the beginning of the play. We thought perhaps it was a free play for Alexander to throw.
If it's a false start, the play would have been dead immediately.
You would think the officials signal to each other.
They're calling it back.
Oh, that is another tough break for Lapel.
So what I'm hearing is it might have been in legal motion. 2 players moving at the same time.
That's not a penalty you see every day. Just about everything in the book has been thrown Lapel's way in terms of penalties on this drive. It's a miracle that they're still going here with 6:55 to play in the ball game, but that would have done it. And it was one of the best throws we've seen from Alexander all day.
And it was a really good second effort by Nick Whitty, who I believe was the receiver for that play. He bobbled it, stuck with it, and then brought it in. And man, that's 2 good plays that's happened in this drive that's been wiped away because of the yellow flag coming out. And Lapel's got to clean that up if they want to win some games.
4th and 9 now. Alexander dropping back to throw again. He's looking end zone once more. Oh, and he was just over the hands of Whitty this time, as that is going to be a turnover on downs. The ball is going to go back to Frankton with about 6:50 to play, so certainly there is a chance, a light perhaps at the end of the tunnel for the Eagles if they can put something together on offense. We will see that after this break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Gray Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary road.
Well, it was a quick break after a turnover on downs, as Frankton's going to take the field rather quickly. And there's flags immediately. We've seen a lot more penalties here in this second half, and there appears to have been some movement up front. That's going to go. We're awaiting the call. It's offsides. So that goes against Lapel. And Frankton gets a bit of a break here early in this drive. They'll take just about anything they can get here. Down 2 scores with 6:50 to play.
Yeah, it's going to take more than just a neutral zone infraction from Lapel for get Frankton back into this game. They got to control the trenches. You can't get your quarterback lit up by Matt Carpenter almost every time. Matt Carpenter had 2 sacks to close out the last drive.
Under center once more, it is Ratstetter. Certainly keeping an eye out for Carpenter, as you said, Andrew. Play action once more, rolling out to his right. He looks downfield. It's just going to be a check down over to the far side, and the yards to gain that time for the running back, Nate Lazader, who came out of the backfield, number 25, and that's a nice way to move the sticks here early in the drive.
Yeah, some really good decision-making by Gage Rastetter to wait for something to open up, and it finally found Braden Douglas and got the first down. But that's what's nice about the play action is that Carpenter coming from the blind side then quickly realized that there was a handoff, but then he cut back inside, and he was ultimately just ran into a bunch of Frankton Eagles.
Hurry up offense, Rastetter underneath. Play action, this time rolls out to his left. He's got a little time, a man coming from behind. He's going to take it himself, running downfield. He's got a hole. He's got the first down and more into Lapel territory. Shaking a couple of Bulldogs free, and he's hauled down inside the 30. A great play on the second effort that time from Rastetter. He went from all the way over on the left side of the field all the way over to the right. He probably ran about 30 whole yards, maybe more on that play vertically, not to mention all the stuff he was doing horizontally as well. A great play from the senior quarterback, trying to get it done on rivalry night.
Yeah, usually you see running backs have that type of run, but that time it's their quarterback. Rastetter really impressing me with that run. I don't know if you heard me, but I said, wow. I think a lot of people are saying the same thing.
Absolutely. Lining up under center as we've seen him all night, and it looks like a timeout is going to be spent. Or no, they're going to send Carpenter off the field. Maybe an equipment check type of thing. He was holding his helmet.
What is happening?
I'm not sure. I think an official timeout maybe? No. I think by sending Carpenter off the field, they're going to force a timeout onto the Bulldogs. They didn't send a replacement on, and that gives us a perfect opportunity to head to a break here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frankton High School. Sam Niger, Andrew Mild here with you as the Eagles trail the Bulldogs 21-7 with 6:29 to play here in the fourth quarter on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, driven by Greg Hubler Ford. A couple more scores in the Muncie area. Alexandria Monroe leads the Wabash Apaches 14-0, and Madison Grant still taking care of business against Southern Wells 33-0. Back to our game, though. It's going to be first down for the Eagles of Frankton, just inside the 30 of Lapel. Under center, it's the quarterback, Rastetter. Rastetter, play action again. Gets some pressure from the edge, trying to shake free again. Still looking downfield. He's going to have to tuck it and run, but he's not going to get very far. In to make the tackle that time was number 23 for Lapel. That's Bruin White, the inside linebacker.
Yeah, I can appreciate a good middle linebacker, and Bruin White, he has just been everywhere. He just knows he just has a nose for the football, and he knows when to blitz, and he has such a quick move that he get inside. I mean, he forced the fumble on a handoff attempt from Rastetter.
Not the biggest guy at 5'10", 175, but he has got a great football IQ, makes his presence felt frequently. Rastetter under center again, second and long, and once more we've got movement up front, so a fourth quarter laden with penalties, and it looks like it's going to be a false start against the Eagles, not what Frankton needed. The clock is still rolling, though, so we might have some time management issues in terms of resetting the clock before we get rolling again, but the call is going to be false start against Frankton. It'll bring up second and long now. We're looking at somewhere around second and 17, that area. We're going to add 10 seconds onto the clock, so 5:47 to go. Some great communication.
I love two-way football. I called some college football before, and usually they would just have a radio headset connected up top. But now you have a coach yelling up here.
The beauty of Friday night lights.
Yeah, from Frankton, Indiana.
Oh, yeah, it's a great atmosphere here at Frankton High School, but can the Eagles get it done? That is the big question. Underneath is Rastetter. He's going to drop back. He receives a little pressure.
Man.
And right in his face was Carpenter. He's able to shake the tackler, pointing downfield, trying to spin away. He picks up another couple of yards. Goodness gracious, Rastetter nearly took a wallop that time from the big boy Carpenter, but he was able to avoid it, and it's going to bring up third down and long.
Well, he did the right thing. He didn't panic. He faked the throw and got Carpenter up in the air, and then he ran out from underneath them and was able to turn that sack possibly into about a 5 or 6 yard gain, I would say.
Yeah. It is third and long still, though, after the penalty, so big play for Rastetter here, who drops back, receives pressure again. He throws it out to his left. Ball is hauled in off the tip. Oh, no, it was deflected away. The bobble looked like it dropped straight into the hands of Braden Douglas, but he can't haul it in, and now it's fourth and long. Out of field goal range, but a punt wouldn't do the Eagles too much good here, so they're going to go for it on fourth and long. Man, I really thought Douglas hauled it in that time.
That was almost Lynn Swan-esque right there, catching the ball as he was falling down to the ground. I think he took his eye off the ball just long enough to not haul it in. This is the biggest play of the game thus far.
Absolutely. This could make or break the Frankton effort tonight. Rastetter underneath. Fourth and long. Oh, and more penalties. This could be tough for the Eagles, and it looks like it's going to be another false start on Frankton.
Flag on the field calls a full start.
So they would be backed up another 5 yards. That'll bring up fourth and 22. Does this change the approach at all if you're Frankton, or do you have to go for it?
You have to go for it. You have no choice. But now your play call has turned from, fourth and 17 is a long way. You usually can drop a play for that, but fourth and 22, about a semi-truck from them and the second stick, it's a Hail Mary at this point, and you're praying as you throw this ball down the field.
Under center once more is Rastetter. And he is going to drop back to pass. He's going to have to check it down immediately. Was swatted back in his face. Incomplete. Bringing the heat that time was Lapel. On the swat that time was Chandler Lowe's, number 70, the big boy up front. He is over 6 foot 225, and that is going to be Lapel ball once more in their own territory, but they will take over on offense with 5 minutes to go to seal their first win of the year on the road if they can get it done here on this offensive drive.
Then that was a really good play by Chandler Lowe's. He recognized this was a screen and he wasn't going to be able to get there. It was drawn up for him to get back in the backfield like that. Instead, he just swatted away like Matembo did, all those NBA players.
From the gun once more, it's Alexander. He's got Dollar out to his left. Alexander on the keep, but a great read that time by the Eagles. They were not buying it with as much as Alexander has carried the football here in this second half, and they wrap him up for a sack, and that's going to be about a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, and I think that we're starting to look at Lapel incorporate Hudson more into the offense than Tyler Dollar, kind of give Dollar a night off for the rest of the night, as he's worked hard. But with your team up 2 touchdowns and you're just playing against the clock right now and trying to wind it down as much as you can, might as well let your star running back get some breaks. Again, he finished last season injured, and now he's back. He's had a great game as it was. There's no need to risk further injury.
For sure. From the gun again. This time the carry is going to go to Hudson, but he goes nowhere as well. I guess the only thing going well on this drive for Lapel is that they are winding the clock down as we near the 4-minute mark. But they are not moving the ball as they had been earlier in this second half. It's going to be 3rd down and 14 to go. So Frankton might be getting the ball back, but could it be too little too late? Only time will tell.
It's still a really hard-fought game. I was really impressed with Frankton. Even if they walk away with the L tonight, their defense was mightily impressive against a really good Lapel team.
For sure. Now rolling away is Alexander. He avoids the tackle in the backfield. He can't shake the second tackle free, though, as number 72, Hunter Branham, is going to be the one to make the grab. He gave Ty Dollar a little extra effort on the last drive, but he has been hustling despite the 2-score deficit. And now a timeout is going to be spent by the Eagles. So as we enter crunch time, we are going to head to the break, perhaps the final one here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. My name is Sam Niger. Andrew Mile is with me. Stay with us because we've got the final minutes of exciting football here from Frankton when we return.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frankton High School. 4th down and long coming up for the visiting Lapel Bulldogs. They're going to punt it away back to the Eagles, who trail 21-7 with 3.5 to go. Crazier things have happened, especially in high school football, so there's still a chance for Frankton after a great defensive effort that time. But Lapel fans probably holding their breath here. We've seen some punting mistakes from both sides. We'll see if they can't get it away cleanly. The punt is away cleanly. And that is going into Frankton territory. It takes a bounce straight up into the air and rolls out of bounds just outside the 40-yard line of the Eagles. The 43-yard line is where it will be spotted, so with 3.5 to play, Frankton will get the ball back in the hands of Rastetter. You got to wonder if Rastetter isn't tired of being ran straight into the ground by Matt Carpenter. Can the offensive line shore things up enough to give Frankton a chance in this game? What do you think, Andrew?
You know what? You said it just right. Anything can happen in high school football, but for Rastetter, you got to wait for offensive line to make some plays for you and allow you to make some nice, accurate throws. I think Frankton still has a chance here, but this is going to be their last shot.
Rastetter under center, drops back. It's going to be throwing the rest of the night. Takes it downfield to the left, and it's picked off, and that is going to do it. Isaiah Priest with the pick, running to his right, and he's going to be taken out of bounds inside the 45. There's a flag down, but it was after the pick. That might do it with 3:17 to play. And Lapel's defense comes up with the stop. They've played well so nice. They've played so well all night, but this time the secondary makes the play.
Yeah, Brady Carmack was still running, and he looked, and the ball was severely underthrown. And Isaiah Priest, it was just easy for him at that point. He high-pointed the football real nice like they do in practice and got the first down. It looks like it was a head-to-head contact. I think that's what the call is right there. I've never really seen that sign used in football, but that's assuming head-to-head on Lapel. But either way, Lapel gets the ball, and that was the last chance that Frankton had right there.
Absolutely. Only 3:17 to play. The Eagles have a lot of ground to make up still at home. We thought maybe that the Eagles had a pretty good shot here against Lapel, 13th ranked in the state of Indiana in AA football heading into this game. They're at home. They had a chance to win a rivalry game. But credit to Lapel. They have played well tonight. And I think a lot of the credit has got to go to Luke Alexander. We said if this team was going to come away with the win tonight, for Lapel that is, that Alexander was going to have to put on a performance that was much better than his last time out.
Yeah.
And he certainly has.
Yeah, I really agree with you. He had a throw that had almost the same amount of yards he had last week.
They're actually going to give it to Dollar, who's back in the game. We expected that he might sit the rest of the way, but I wonder if Lapel isn't thinking just a couple of first downs to seal the deal. Why not give it to our star? He picks up 8 running to his left that time.
Second down for Lapel.
Well, for me, I think you're just trying to hand it off to Tyler Dollar because, one, he's had a lot of yards removed due to fouls, so might as well allow him to get those yards back and a couple of handoffs and really moke away at this clock and walk away with the victory.
Offense definitely slowing down now for Lapel. Clock rolls at about 2:33 to play. Certainly no hurry if you're the Bulldogs, up by 2 possessions, and another flag flies. This second half has really been slowed down by penalties, and I wonder if the official isn't going to back this up for movement up front against the Bulldogs. He is. And once again, yards wiped off the board for the running back Dollar.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there. You had 2 players going in motion, Braden Barnett, the tight end, and then your backup running back, Riley Hudson, who was in the slot. Both of them were moving, and you get called for an illegal motion there.
So it is going to be 2nd down and 7 now for the Bulldogs. 2:15 to play here in the game. From the gun, it is Alexander. He gives it to Dollar. Dollar right up the middle. Takes a hit. Keeps trucking forward. And he's going to be brought down about a yard short of the line to gain. The line to gain is the 50. He's brought down at the 49, so they'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, this is kind of like in baseball where you signal to the bullpen and go to your closer. That's Tyler Dollar right now. He's just trying to end the game right here by, 1, getting yards for a first down, getting a fresh set of downs, and 2, you got to hold on to that football. When he was running right there, the player that brought him down was trying to take it away from him, but Tyler Dollar kept it close as he could and got a good gain and kept the ball for Lapel.
Absolutely. And he'll get the call here on 3rd down as well. The yards to gain and more, and that will just about do it. We've got about a minute and a half left, but it moves the sticks, and the light is starting to fade for Frankton. Tyler Dollar and Luke Alexander, the combination of them. You got to also include Hudson, Riley Hudson, number 22. It's been the guys running the ball tonight for Lapel that have gotten it done.
Yeah, now you can see they're going into victory formation. This might be the first time we've seen Alexander actually go under center besides for the few QB sneaks that he did. But, yeah, it's all Lapel now. They're just going to take those 2 knees and walk away with the victory. What a game it was here from Frankton High School. And you can really start to see the improvement from Frankton from just 2 years ago when they hired their new head coach, Mark Lazatter.
Absolutely. I mean, Frankton didn't have their best game tonight. They struggled on offense for sure, but 1-1 after the first 2 games of the season, there's room to build there. And it was a beautiful new facility, and of course we'd like to thank Frankton for having us tonight because it was, I mean, it's a great atmosphere. Both sides showed out, but ultimately it was Lapel that came through thanks to the efforts of Alexander and Dollar. 2nd victory formation here for Lapel with 20 seconds to play.
Yeah, this is the last one.
This will do it. The kneel from Alexander, and that is going to do it here from Frankton High School. The Lapel Bulldogs come into this beautiful facility and take down the Frankton Eagles, their rivals, holding them to just one touchdown. 21-7 is the final score. 3 rushing touchdowns for Lapel, got it done. 2 for Alexander and 1 for Dollar. As for Frankton, their lone touchdown was also on the ground, the QB Gage Rastetter. From all of us here at IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, we want to say thank you for tuning in. We'll send you to break one more time before we come back here to Frankton High School. My name is Sam Niger. Andrew Mile is with me. We thank you for tuning us in tonight, and we hope you will stick with us for just a few more minutes to get the final scores from around the Muncie area.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Gray Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Gray Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Well, it was a historic rivalry here at Frankton High School, but recent history dominated. The Lapel Bulldogs come in and get a win at Frankton High School, 21-7, led by the rushing efforts of Ty Dollar and quarterback Luke Alexander. Once again, my name is Sam Niger. Andrew Mile is with me. He did play-by-play in the first half, and we certainly want to thank you for joining us here tonight on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. We hope you will join us next week as well and throughout the regular season here at East Central Indiana football. From all of us at IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, we want to say thank you, and we hope to see you next week as well.
Tonight's game on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net has been driven by Greg Hubler Ford, located at the corner of McGalliard and Nebo Road in Muncie, or visit them at greghublerauto.com. And brought to you in part by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. By Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. This has been a presentation of IndianaHighSchoolSports.net and High Gear Sports.